mine. You don't give me time. It makes sense. Wow. Nothing be fitting apart no more. You won't want that feeling no. So what are you gonna do when the world is crashing around you? Mm. So what are you gonna do right now? Ooh, 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 ain't it fun? It made in the real world. It made us alone. I don't mind. That you don't seem to give it time. It don't make sense, it makes sense. No more, no more. So what are you gonna do when the world is crashing around you? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. What are you gonna do? No one wants to fool with you. Ain't it fun? How the conversations with Nick going about the Philly? I don't know if he listening, bro. I don't know if he listening. Am I live on TikTok yet? Nah, this thing's updating. You know, I go live like once a week on this junk. So what are you gonna do when the world is crashing around you? What are you gonna do when nobody wants to move with you? Ain't it fine? It's in the real world. Mark, I see you. Hold up real quick, cause I gotta start up my TikTok real quick. Ain't it good? Gonna be all alone. Oh, key. Did I put the banner up? Hold on, let me fix this real quick. And fun in the real world. But that song been stuck in my head. I don't know. I gotta read that verse. I'm not really as well versed on purgatory stuff. Sky blue gets darker. Alright, that's good. To see the colors of city light, the trails of ruby red and diamond white. It's a light, sunshine. She comes and goes like no one, no one can. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up too, though. And tap the screen. His live performance is always tough, bro. She always running like neon. No. How long, how long, how long? She can call me for she lives away. Right with the new YB album, I ain't heard it yet. Make sure y'all tap the screen. All right, Mark, what's good?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I'm not Christian, there's multiple reasons, but if Jesus taught a triune God during his ministry that the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God, what the previous prophets in the Old Testament did not teach triune God, I mean Jesus' non-continuity theologically, and I think that's a problem.
The people in the Old Testament did teach this triune God though.
Where?
You said where?
Yeah, where?
Like Zechariah chapter 7.
About he proclaimed Yahweh, spoke to Yahweh, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna help you, but yeah, we can talk about it.
I bet. We'll see if it's gonna help or not. Ooh. So in Zechariah chapter 7. But they refused to heed and shrugged their shoulders and stopped their ears so that they could not hear. Yes, they made their hearts like flint, refusing to hear the law which are the words which the Lord of hosts had sent by his spirit through the former prophets. Thus great wrath came from the Lord of hosts. Therefore it happened that just as he proclaimed and they would not hear, so they called out and I would not listen, says the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, it's God speaking in the first person and referring to himself in the third person, how David does in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 18, where David prays to God, and then he says, may God deal with David. Is David two persons?
Nope.
Okay, so is David speaking to himself in the third person?
Yeah. So the issue's not him speaking in third person, right? The issue is that right here we see, therefore, as it happened that just as he proclaimed, they would not hear, so they called out and I would not listen. So what he's doing here is he's saying in the same tone, he's saying that, oh yeah, when the Lord of hosts spoke out these things in times past, he proclaimed to you guys and you did not listen. So I proclaimed. He's not saying that, oh yeah, with David, and we know that David is a singular person. What in the world is going to make us think that this is a singular person when he's using third personal and then first person?
Yeah, because we look at the Old Testament holistically, and I have no reason to believe there's a triune God from true God to true God. Same way, I can give you more examples. For example, in 1 Samuel chapter 25, right, where we see David is praying to God, and then he says, may God deal with David. The same way how God is talking about himself in the first person and the third person. Same with David. I have no reason to believe this is Trinity. You're just like special pleading. I can give you so many
This
more
is not
examples.
special pleading. Hold on. First of all, this is not special pleading because we have multiple places where we see more than one person is referred to as God, and we can know that they're
Like
not.
where?
Like with the angel of the Lord, like with any of these, the word of God,
So
whatever.
go to the age of the Lord, because now you're admitting this argument itself does not hold. It doesn't like work by itself.
Oh no, I think it does work by itself. So even if we go to the one that you're talking about, you're saying in Samuel, which part?
If you go to 1 Samuel chapter 25 verses 21 through 22, or 2 Samuel chapter 7 verses 18. It's verse 21 through 22.
Okay, cool. May God do so, and more also to the enemies of David, that I leave one male of all who belong to him by the morning. And you're saying that, oh, just because this is the case, it has to be the case with the other?
Well, I'm saying, yeah, I think it higher the probability then there's going to be a triune God, because I have no reason to believe this shows that from true God to true God in Zechariah chapter 7, look at the Old Testament holistically. Like, well, do you agree, though, David is referring to himself in the third person without being multiple persons?
Yeah.
Okay.
We agree that can happen. Jesus does that. That's not the issue.
Yeah, I know. Luke 9:26, John 17:3. Yeah, I know.
So also we can see in the first chapter of the Bible, since you want to go at a holistic, it says, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the birds of the air, etc. So this is God speaking, right?
Yep. It's the divine counsel, because we know in Job chapter 38, we look at the Old Testament holistically again. The divine counsel is in the scenario when God created, and so there's going to be again a distinct person.
Did the divine are we made in the image of the divine counsel?
That doesn't follow the same how we see in Genesis chapter 29.
No, it has to, because hold on.
I'm answering. Don't panic. I'm answering.
I'm not panicking. I'm just asking.
Are we made?
Follow.
How does it? What do you mean it does not follow? I'm asking you, are we made in the image of them?
I'll tell you, brother, it is not for the divine counsel also creates, because we see in Genesis 29, Laban says, we will give your daughter Rachel, and the we is Laban and his family. But then the next verse is Laban gave him his daughter Rachel. So it goes to a plural to a singular. So you can still say we do something without literally other people doing it with you. So again, this is not follow.
That's not my question, brother. I'm asking, are we made in their image? It's simple.
Obviously not. And again,
Okay, so if we're not obviously, hold on, if we're not obviously made in an image, right? This is a singular image, but it's mentioned about our. So this is collectively one singular image, correct?
Perfect.
But you're saying, hold on, hold on.
Change your argument because you're getting like what right now, but it's fine.
I'm not changing my argument. This is a simple argument. This is the same question I just asked you. I don't know why you're like spazzing out. You're like, no, because this is what it is. So anyway,
Zechariah 7 down to Genesis 1.
Wow, I went to 2 verses. Congrats.
Yeah, you got
two
by Zechariah 7 now.
I did not. So anyway, you just admitted we're not in the image of the divine counsel, right?
And I said that is not follow divine counsel also creates, because I gave you example in Genesis 20.
So when it says our image, whose image is it talking? Hold on, who is the our? Who is the our that we're in the image of?
The hour. Okay, I'm going to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
The hour is going to be referred to. Well, the hour is in God's image, but we made the heavens and earth, right? In Genesis 1:26.
So the hours God.
You're not letting me finish,
brother. Slow down. It's okay. I know you probably haven't had like an argument like this,
and I know you probably don't
so,
it because you're a Gentile. But let me finish now.
What the frick does that have to do with anything? So my question is, you said the hour refers to. Hold on. You just contradicted yourself, because before you said the hour refers to the divine counsel and God. Now you're saying it refers to God. So
wait, I said God only.
So whose image is it? Because the hour is referring to who? Who is the hour referring to?
Look, I'm going to
answer the question. Who is the hour referring to?
I'm going to answer, and you're interrupting me.
All right, chill out.
Because you're interrupting me, because you're panicking. It is not necessary. It's also the divine counsel, because I already gave you example.
Who is the hour referring to, brother?
Don't panic. Let me
just answer. Who's the hour?
I'm answering, but you want me to answer, but you're interrupting me?
I just need you to answer, brother, because this is a simple question. It says our image, right?
Oh my God. Oh, bro.
Who is the hour? Who's the hour? Just answer who's the hour.
Repeat I'm literally, okay. In Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image. It is not follows also the divine counsel.
That's not the question. I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you a simple question. Who is the hour?
The hour is God. It is not necessary.
Oh, so the hour is God, right?
Let me finish. It is not necessary. It's also the divine counsel, because I gave you example in Genesis 29. Laban says, It's
the divine counsel because it's of Genesis 29. What are you talking about, brother?
No, brother.
Focus. No. You just hold on. Focus. You just said focus. You just said that the hour is talking about God, and also that the image, we're not made in the image of the divine counsel.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And I gave look, just listen to me. It is not follows also divine counsel. Why? Because in Genesis 29, I'm not saying this shows a divine counsel. I'm giving you an example. In Genesis 29, Laban says, we will give your daughter Rachel. Who is the we? Him and his family.
What does that have to do with what I'm asking you right now? You're just saying that, oh yeah, this is a time when it says we, and then we can see where a singular person is doing it.
Exactly.
That's irrelevant. That's so irrelevant. That's so irrelevant.
Let me build up. The same in Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image. The us is divine counsel and God, but it's not necessary the divine counsel also correct.
Who is the hour?
Okay. Can you repeat my answer? Let's see if you're tracking.
Who is the hour, brother? You're focusing on the let us make and not the our image. Because the same one that is saying let us make is going to be the one whose image we are in, because that's why it's saying our.
Yeah,
and you just hold on. And you just admitted that the hour is God and the image is God. So by that same logic, if you would just use your head and use your logic, the let us make is talking about God specifically.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Look, you're not shocking. I gave you in Job chapter 38 that we see the divine counselor are in the scenario when God created.
They in the same area.
Let me finish.
That's so irrelevant, bro.
Let me
It's
finish.
so
It is
irrelevant.
irrelevant because you're just taking one verse and you're not looking at the context.
Brother, what you're going to Job 38. You're not even in the context of this Genesis verse right here. I'm asking you the one sentence and you're tripping out.
Is Job 28 about God creating? Yes or no?
Is Job what?
You're not checking. Is Job 38 about God creating the world?
And
Oh, thank you. So it is in context, and I'm telling you, the divine counsel is in the scenario. Rather, we see this.
wow, there were people there and there were people here. Like, what are you talking about? I'm asking you about the specific sentence when it says, "Let us make in our image."
Position.
You just said, "Let us make." It could mean that he's talking to the divine council. However, it says our. Our is referring to the us. You just said the hour is referring to God.
Deliverance.
You just said, hold on.
Stupid.
You just said the hour is referring to God, and you said the image is referring to God. So by your own logic, that wouldn't make sense. You're contradicting yourself in the same sentence.
I'm not. No. You're not tracking. You consistently hour. Do you know what plural of deliverance is or no? Or you're alone.
Explain, brother.
You
Explain.
don't because you suck and you don't know the Torah.
Oh, because you suck and you don't know the Torah. Because you can't answer a single question. Just go ahead, answer, brother, please.
Boy, let me finish.
This man is sick,
Genesis
bro.
1:26. Let us make man in our image. The R can just be plural of deliverance because it is not necessary. The divine counsel is also not creating, and I'm seeing that let us.
So you're just saying it's a random hour that's just being mentioned. It's a random hour.
Panicking?
I'm not panicking.
Wait, what is plural of deliverance?
Explain to us so we can all know.
Okay, I'll tell you what plural of deliverance. If you don't know the Torah, plural of deliverance, you can refer to yourself in the plural doing action. For example, Genesis 1:26. Let us make man in our image. It's the plural. It's divine counsel and God in that, but it's only one person doing it. And I gave you example in Genesis 29.
Did I bring up our image?
Yes, and I'm saying
Who is the hour?
the hour is plural deliverance due to one person, that is God.
Oh, so the only image that's being made in is God, correct?
Yep.
So the hour is specifically talking about only God, correct?
That's
Not
what I'm saying.
not the divine council. Hold on, not the divine council, right?
Counsel is not correct. Are you okay? Oh my brother, you're not tracking. It is not.
So you're saying, hold on, I want y'all to hear what he's saying. He's saying they do not create, and that the hour is specifically talking about God alone. And he says it's a plural of deliverance, right?
Yeah. Yes. Can you refute me? Can you refute me? Give the reductio.
The reductio is that one says us, right? You said God only creates. This says let us create. In our image, our is referring to multiple persons. Hold on.
Plural of
Multiple persons. Multiple persons. You're just randomly deciding to switch on the next word. On the next word.
brother. You're
On the next word, you're saying, oh, no, now it doesn't refer to the divine counsel. You're crazy.
You're not-
This is what you have to do to stay in your belief.
Let me finish. The let us make man, that's divine counsel, but it's not necessary that they're in the R because it's referring to plural of deliverance. That's what I'm trying to say, but you're not tracking because you suck.
man.
You actually suck.
You just suck.
So
Alright, man.
does it necessarily
Go hang with the Goyim. Anyway. Make sure y'all tap the screen. Bro, it couldn't be me getting cooked by a Goy, bro. That's crazy. Make sure y'all tap the screen. Hit the thumbs up. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's
I
up?
had a question.
What's good?
First of all, I'm agnostic atheist. I'm agnostic in general and atheist on pure Abrahamic religions. My argument, or well, not more my argument, just kind of curious on an answer because I see this as an inconsistency. Within 1 Samuel 15:3, it says, "Now go attack the Amalekites, totally destroy all, put to unaliving women, children, infants, cattle, sheep, camels, donkeys, whatever." I'm just like, do you think it's morally justified to unalive a child?
Why can't God do that?
No, God didn't. He told the humans to do that.
Yeah, why can't God tell people to do that?
It's not an argument like if he can do it. I'm asking you, do you find it personally morally justified?
Yeah,
You said yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
yeah.
Do you believe that the children were innocent though?
It depends what you mean by innocent.
I mean, just with innocent, I mean innocent. I mean, unless you can tell me that a child who cannot even speak or have a mind.
What is the okay? And what does them have to be innocent do with God allowing them to get
Well, because if they weren't innocent, then there's a justification for unaliving them. But no child can commit sin.
well,
or
one,
disobey.
hold on, one, we don't like that makes it seem like you think that we deserve and like God owes us life. Is that something you believe?
Something I believe God owes us life. No.
Yeah. God doesn't owe us life.
God, so no.
Yeah, in our belief, God doesn't owe us anything. God doesn't owe us life, so he can take our life whenever he wants to. So there's nothing about, if you're saying innocent, usually when people say in the case of innocence, they're saying that, oh yeah, you can't do this because you don't have the right to, because they did nothing to deserve this, right? So it's like we owe them some sort of duty. God doesn't owe them any sort of duty. So you're kind of like backwards on that idea.
So God can just unalive babies if he wills, innocent blood.
He can unalive anybody. He's the one that sustains their existence and gives them life because he can do whatever he chooses. He's perfectly good. We can't do that because we're not the ones that give life and can give beatitude or give heaven or whatever, or give ultimate goodness.
Sure, but within this context, it happened because of the sins that the people committed. But I'm just saying, like, the children, they were innocent because they could not have committed crimes. Because, like, children, babies, it says. The babies could not have committed sins because, like I said, they couldn't even think. It specifically says infants. So they're innocent, right? Unless you
Still
disagree.
had
with
original sin, even if they didn't have actual sins.
Wait, they had original sin?
Yes.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
That's
So
the
it's
point.
justified to just unalive everybody right now.
If God wanted to, he could.
He could. What would be wrong with that? What
No,
is
it's
he?
not about if he could. It was specifically within this context. It was because of the sin that those people committed. I'm just saying, like, do you think that it's okay to just unalive babies because their
Bro,
parents?
you asked him that question already. What are you trying to do
Yeah,
here?
and I'm not getting an answer except, oh well, God gave
Really?
life.
I heard him answer very clearly. He said God could do that.
Yeah, God gave life, so He can take it.
Yeah. What's the argument against it?
No, I'm just asking if you agree that the child was innocent or not.
What does that have to do with anything I just said?
Innocent, referring to actual sin? Yeah, I had no personal sins. But is innocent in all aspects? No, because it still had original sin.
So it's just okay to unalive it, because then I just find that insane and immoral. I find your God
What's the
genuinely,
argument?
like,
But we already know you
What's my
find God
argument?
immoral.
you want me to present an argument why it's wrong to unalive babies?
Why it's wrong for God to be able to take the life of everything that he sustains? That he didn't have to do in the first place?
What do you mean? I'm not talking about God specifically here. I'm talking about the people that
Yeah,
did it.
you are. We are talking about God.
God's the one that told them to do that.
Yeah, no, but I'm not talking about God being allowed to take life where He gave.
You literally are. That's what you're arguing right now. These people didn't do it under their own whims and their own commands. We're saying, oh yeah, that's good because they just felt like doing it. No.
Yeah, so my question, like I said before, so you find it okay for children
Oh
just...
my days.
Brother, you're just asking the same thing. I don't know what you
Yeah, because
do.
you're not answering yes or no. You say, oh, well, He gave life so He can take it. Like, it's not an answer.
So you just gave an answer. You just gave an answer. So clearly you understood what I said, did you not?
Yeah, it's no appealing answer. It's not valid.
It's not. Oh, it's not appealing to Mr. Superior Being from
I
TikTok.
also
Wow.
find it not valid, no. Because you can
Okay.
just answer.
Valid. Your answer doesn't have an inference rule, buddy. You're cooked.
It's just not valid, bro. It's just.
Hi guys, I got a question.
Uh,
So from the previous discussion with the previous guy, would you say that it's wrong to unalive people, or it just depends who does it? Because you said it's okay if God does it.
I mean, it's both. What are you talking about? Of course, it depends who does it.
Yeah.
And it depends why they do it too.
Oh, okay. So for God, does it depend why He does it, or it's just the fact that he's the one who did it?
What do you mean by that, though?
Because you said it's both. It depends on who does it and why it's being done. So I'm asking you, in God's case, does He need a reason, or is it okay just because
Well,
He
God
is
is
God?
perfect, so he's always gonna have a reason. There's no arbitrariness in God.
Okay, so you're saying basically that something can be wrong, but only dependent on who does it.
What?
Brother, do you know how acts work? Like, it can be wrong. All right, so if, for instance, if I sentence you to death, you could say that's wrong. If a judge sentences you to death, that's not wrong. So in that case, it depends on who does it, right?
No, no, I wouldn't say just because a judge sentenced me, then it's okay. Because a judge can sentence you to be unalived when they judged the case incorrectly. You do know that people can be sentenced to be unalived.
So it depends on the reasons behind it as well, then. So
Yeah,
not just the person.
exactly. Yeah, so not just the person. So I'm asking you, in God's case, does he need a reason? Because a judge actually gives out
We
those
told
reasons.
you God doesn't
God
do
doesn't.
anything without reason. We told you this.
Yeah, but but a judge gives those reasons. God doesn't.
Why does he have to give a reason?
Yeah, so he
No,
has
I'm
to
just saying.
explain himself to you. Like,
Well, where's the rule in that? Like, what?
No, he doesn't have to. I'm just saying that for God.
If he doesn't have to, then what's the point?
Reasons. So I'm asking you, how do you know that he has reasons?
We can logically deduce that if God is the most perfect being and that he doesn't do things arbitrarily and that he's good, then he has a reason as to why
Yeah,
he
how
does
do you know
things.
that?
you're
How do you
asking, why
logically
does a
deduct
perfect
that?
being need to have reasons? That's what you're asking.
How do
right?
you logically deduct that he's a perfect being? How can you
From
comprehend?
the argument for motion, from the ante et essentia argument, it's just required for God to be God.
Required by who? By what?
That's just what's necessary, like logically deduced.
Yeah, you keep saying that. You're not substantiating. You just keep.
You want me to give you an argument for God's existence?
Is reason not a
No.
good thing? Or rather, I should say, is doing something without reason not bad? Would you agree with that?
Doing something without reason,
It's bad.
bad. Yeah, I
Cool.
wouldn't say that. It depends what you do. I mean, if I eat a
So if you do something for no reason, without a reason, it's bad, right?
no, it depends on what you do. It depends on what you do without a reason.
So then technically speaking, under your view, then God could do it without a reason and it still be good.
Yep.
No, because what he's doing is unaliving people. I said it depends on what you do without a reason.
Okay. Well,
You-
in
do-
our
do you not
paradigm,
understand?
you can't just do stuff without reason. Everything has to be properly ordered to reason.
So you're saying if
So
you do
God,
something
who is
without
the
a
most
reason, that's
perfect.
bad.
Yes. God, who is the
So if I go out and
all right, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so I can literally go out and do anything without a reason, and it would be bad. It
You're
doesn't matter
doing
if
stuff with no order to yourself, no goal, no telos,
For one, we don't think it's possible for you to actually do something
without any sort of
wrong.
reason.
We're just talking about without proper reason.
So a proper
I
reason,
agree
a
with-
proper reason is
I
going to be
agree with
one that's aligned with like God or like with goodness, like proper goodness.
Okay, so I think we're like going off ramp a bit. So what I was essentially trying to like discuss today is that, like, if you guys are saying that there's a certain thing that someone can do and it can be wrong depending on whether or not who the person is and whether or not they have reasons, then as the fact that I agree with the fact that, like, the person has to have reasons, but when you say it has to be specifically a specific person, and then when I ask you, okay, but then
Yes,
why is it that case for God? But then you say, okay, it's that case for God because he obviously has a reason. Then ultimately what you're telling me is that it's not because he is God, it's because you suspect that he has a good reason to do it.
No.
Don't you agree?
No,
Okay,
for
so-
one, we say it's okay when God does it
that's what
on
you just
account of
said.
his authority. So, like, a man can just break into your house and start searching your house for evidence. But a police officer who has the authority given to him by a judge from a warrant can break into your house and search
For
through
a
your
reason.
things for evidence.
For
Because
a
that-
reason. For a reason.
Do they have to give you the reason in order for it to be right?
The whole point is that the normal civilian breaking into your house has the same intention than the police officer. They're both looking for evidence. The whole difference
Wait.
is one has been given the authority by a judge to do so,
Wait.
and the other hasn't.
Wait. So you're saying there are two people, it's a policeman and the other person is who, a burglar?
No, just a civilian.
Just a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I trust that a civilian has good intentions?
What the frick does that have to do with anything, bro?
The whole point
Be-
is that
because how does anyone know whether or
the
not it's a
person
good-
doing the action matters in this scenario because one has not been given the authority while one has been given the authority.
Or one just
Yeah,
has the authority.
The authority is given because it's proven that they have a good reason why they're doing it, not just because they're an authority.
Bro, that's not how warrants work. What are you talking about?
That's exactly how warrants work. They're backed up by the fact that if there's reasonable suspicion that there's something in the house that they need to find, not just that
I
hey,
mean, it's more
this
than
guy is someone
reasonable
wearing a badge, so
suspicion,
he's
but
allowed to
the point
Okay,
is
so then
God's gonna
God
do
has the
everything
authority
perfectly.
and has the reason.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that's what I'm saying, that it's not just his authority that gives him that right. Based on what you're saying, it's because he has good reasons. So it's not
yeah,
because
but
of him, it's
dude,
because of
the
reasons that
civilian
he
could
has.
have every same suspicion,
Yeah, but we
every
don't know
same
that.
piece of information. The
Brother, why are you saying we don't know that? What is that? That's irrelevant. If we know it or not.
How is that irrelevant? So
So
you're trying to tell me if a police officer came to your house and wanted to check your house versus if a civilian came to check your house, you would believe both equally if they tell
No.
you that they want to look for
that proves
evidence.
our point.
Bro,
No, it doesn't.
they're going to show a warrant and not tell you why they were able to get a warrant. Yet, you know, because they have a warrant, they have the right to come in. It's that simple. They don't have to tell you.
Okay, but do you understand what a warrant is? What is a warrant?
Bro,
Just
we know
asking me what a
warrants are.
warrant
What are
is.
we talking about?
What is a warrant?
We both know.
Do you know what a warrant is?
I'm asking you, what do you think a warrant is?
Okay, a warrant is going to be a document that somebody gets, like a police officer. They have to go to a judge or a magistrate, and they give specific details about what they're looking for, what they want to get, you know, where it's at, all these different things. And they have to have what's called probable cause for these things. And then the magistrate says, all right, cool, you can get this there. And then when they show up,
Have probable cause.
Oh my
If
gosh.
they don't have probable cause, can they come into your house?
Okay, if a civilian pulls up to the judge and shows him that he has probable cause, is the judge gonna let him search the other person's house now?
If he goes to the police and he says there's probable cause, then
No,
yes.
is
not-
the judge
not
gonna
directly to a
let the
judge.
civilian search that person's
No.
house? Why not?
No, if he goes to the
Why not?
because
you can't even go to the police and say that.
he does. That's not what. So a
Maybe
normal
it's because
civilian
he's
can get a
not.
warrant.
That is not his role within society. Maybe that's why.
So do you agree? Do you agree that a normal civilian can get a warrant to search your house through the police? They can go to the police.
All right, we may have a different justice system because that's not possible. That is not possible in the United
I'm not
States.
saying a civilian can come search your house. I'm saying a civilian can go to the police and give them reasons to warrant suspicion that there's something illegal happening at
Okay.
your house, and then the police.
So then
can come
you're not
with a warrant
understanding
to
the
search your
analogy
house.
here. The whole point is the police has probable cause. The civilian also has
That's
probable
what I'm
cause.
saying.
The police
Yes.
can talk to the judge and get permission to enter the man's
All
house.
right, what is your
Civilian cannot get permission to enter the man's house because he's not a police officer.
No, but you're okay. You're looking at it from the surface as if a police officer.
what? All right, what's your problem with God's? All right, well, just answer. What is your problem with God doing this stuff, bro? What's your issue, bro?
Like,
My issue is that right. I have two issues, right. I get from a logical standpoint that if someone gives life, then they should be allowed to take it. But I would say that if someone is not hypocritical, they wouldn't then start advising people that it's wrong to do a specific thing that I'm allowed to do. Do you agree that that's hypocritical?
No, what the frick?
God is not.
Hey, you know what? Hold on. You're allowed to have sex with your wife, so I should be allowed to have sex with your wife. Otherwise, it's hypocritical. Tell me that I can do it.
Just-
If not-
you-
No. Let me have sex with your wife.
With you.
What?
If she wants to, she can have sex with you. Then I'm dipping.
What the frick is wrong, bro? Oh my gosh, bro.
Hey,
What is?
yo, he folded quick, Jordan. Hey, that's that Jordan aura.
Oh my gosh. You want me to commit adultery?
Bro,
Ah.
cuck energy.
What the
Major
frick?
cuck energy.
Hey yo. What's good?
What's up?
Make sure y'all tap the screen and hit the thumbs up. Lord have mercy, bro. Give me a good reason not to be Christian, bro, or convince me to leave Christianity or something. Whatever.
Shit. I mean, can I put in a quick non sequitur just to get it out of my system?
I mean, I guess it sounds like you just really need to
I mean,
get it
I
out.
don't know. I mean, you just said it was weird, but you didn't really refute what he said.
Which part?
That's
What were we supposed to refute?
You were saying that, like, well, first of all, it's a bit weird to be like, oh, you know, I can therefore, you know, infringe on your property, implying his wife, which I'm like,
He said whatever I can do, somebody else should be able to do. That's no standard at all in anybody's world. Hey, a police officer can go around putting people in handcuffs. I should be able to too, right?
Well, no, they were just adhering to the
that's what he
idea.
said.
Hey, a doctor can operate on somebody. I should be able to too, right?
Well, no, because we're presupposing now, right?
What do you mean presupposing? It's clear that different people are allowed different things because they are different people.
Why are they allowed to do it?
Because they have a different set of power, more knowledge, different things.
What do you mean power? What?
Different in terms of authority, like police, like
Right. Police have the authority because the state gave it to them, right?
What does that have to do with anything, bro? His argument was, hey, if I can do it, somebody else should be able to do it.
Dude, the argument towards the whole warrant stuff was that, oh, you wouldn't let a random person into your house to investigate something because you know that they don't have the succinct authority to have the ability to do that. They have to go through a judge or a magistrate, and then it has to get a warrant, and then they have the legal ability to do it, right? They have the authority to do that.
a civilian wouldn't have the authority to search someone's house.
I'm aware.
That's-
I know. But I'm asking you, why is the case? Because we don't give we don't give random people the authority to do this.
Cool.
Why do
I
we
mean,
give the
why is
police?
the case is kind of irrelevant because the whole
Yes.
the
No.
only
No.
principle.
I'll tell. Can I tell you the relevance? Can I tell you the relevance before
can I
you
finish
peter off to
speaking?
something? Well,
Can I
no, because it
finish
doesn't have
speaking?
anything to do with what I'm saying. It doesn't have anything to do
Okay,
with what I'm
what was I
saying. You'd
gonna
be
say
speaking,
then?
but it wouldn't address it.
What was I gonna say?
It doesn't matter. You didn't understand what I was saying, so you're addressing.
You don't even
something
know what I was
completely
gonna
different.
say. What are you talking about?
If you were addressing what you were presupposing earlier, yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about.
What was I
Can I get the
presupposing
statement
earlier?
out?
All right, bro, just get your statement
If
out,
you're-
bro.
My guys, you're the one cutting
Thank
people
you.
out. Talking
Okay.
about, can I get my
Anyway,
statement out? This is
so-
ridiculous. Go ahead.
So the whole reason that this hinges on why it's important, on why we give these people authority, is why do you give this metaphysical, quote unquote, omnipresent being
Yeah, see,
ultimate
this is your
authority?
this is your already.
It's already backwards, bro. It's just
No
backwards.
one is giving this being authority. He has it of his own
How?
nature.
How?
because he's
the one that
perfect,
created everything.
all powerful, the one that
Who said
sustains all things. Logic.
What do you mean? Who says? The
Logic.
question presupposes that because he's literally
Logic?
asking us, why is it okay for God to do something? So the question
No,
presupposes
hold on. No,
that
okay,
an
wait, wait, okay, so
all-powerful,
might makes right.
all-knowing
Might makes
creator
right.
of the universe
Ultimately.
existed.
Ultimately, might makes right.
When did we say that?
No,
So you
no,
said
it's
if
no
I
one-
had the ultimate ability, like if I somehow in this crazy hypothetical got the one-to-one omni metaphysical
If you have perfect chess moves every time, who should we listen
Okay.
to when playing chess? You or some random dude on the street?
I guess me in
Why?
that circumstance
Why?
because I'm good at chess.
Okay. So when someone is perfectly good,
Mhm.
all powerful, all wise, when they do something,
Powerful doesn't mean wise, and all powerful doesn't mean good.
we can literally argue that it's going to be materially the same thing. That's besides the point, brother. When they're all wise,
Materially,
when it's all wise, all good, all knowing, who is the person that we should be listening to when they say that this is a thing that we should do?
again, we're presupposing.
Just answer the question. We are like, brother, when
No. This is okay. If I were to say
just answer the question. You can answer with the chest. Why can't you answer it now?
because it's not a real question.
What do you mean it's not a real question? So it was a real question when you could do perfect chess moves? You Magnus Carlsen? Like, who are you?
Wait, let me ask you
No,
something, bro.
these are thought experiments.
Let me-
Then answer the thought experiment. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you
It's
something.
it's you begging the question. That's
What question?
Oh, bro, let me
is
ask
that
you something,
if
bro.
this perfect being were perfect, would they not be perfect? Yeah, sure.
Oh wow, they would be perfect. Wow, thank you for admitting. Why I don't get why nobody can admit
By
like
your descriptor. By your descriptor.
that's not my descriptor. That's by definition.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
That's by
You
definition.
know, oh my days.
What is
Okay.
a fucking definition?
A perfect?
What's
Yes.
a definition?
Lacks nothing. Lacks
Dude, legit
has no potential.
perfect.
Lacks nothing, bro.
Lacks nothing. God lacks nothing?
Yep.
Okay, how do you know that?
Brother, see, this is where I'm saying you guys are misunderstanding the point. The question was proposed. Is it okay for God to command X or for God to do X? What is
No.
understood by God there? Are we just talking about
Nothing.
some random human? It's nothing.
No,
Nothing is
I mean,
understood by God
technically, yeah.
there.
Is it Doodle Bop?
Nothing is understood by God. I can promise you that.
Then the question you're proposing
Is
the one that
stupid. It don't make sense.
it's incoherent. The
What
word
is
has no
incoherent
meaning.
about the what? What do you mean it's incoherent?
Jesus.
You're
Go
saying
down
you're
logic tree
asking
of
a
how it's
question with
incoherent.
words that don't have meaning, bro.
Go
Are we
down
for
the
real?
logic tree and tell me how I'm incoherent. Don't just make statements.
When you say God, what do you mean?
my-
When you say God, what do you mean in that question? Why is God allowed to do this? What do you mean?
Well, specifically here, I'm talking about like the Abrahamic Christian.
Oh wow. Is that Abrahamic Christian God all powerful, all knowing, all wise, etc.?
No,
What is he then? What is it then? What are you talking about?
he's non-existent. He's not real. He's not a real thing.
So you're talking about something that doesn't exist?
Well, so are you. Yeah.
Oh my days.
You don't even have a conception of this thing.
Yes. So
No, I
when
have-
you
I have a
when you
conception
ask the
based on the
question, is it
description of
okay
the
for
people
God to do X? What are you asking? What's the subject in that question? Who's the subject?
In your brain, the word God. When we put the word God, what?
I'm
does it mean
asking
when I say the
you.
word
I'm
God?
asking you. When you say it. When you say it.
You know what I think God is. I know. You
Okay,
know
so
that I don't think God's real.
When the question was
Period.
asked
Okay.
to us, can God do X? What does God mean?
Can God can the Abrahamic Christian God do X?
You just use the word in the definition.
What are you talking about? Can
What does
What
God
does
mean?
Christian God
And you
do
said
what?
the Abrahamic God. What does God mean again?
God?
Yep.
In that sentence, when you're asking us that, what does God mean?
A metaphysical being that is what's it called? Retroactively formed by some human being on planet Earth?
Holy crap, bro.
It is so slow, bro.
Dude,
If that's what you think, we don't even agree with that. Yeah, that retroactive being, no, he does. We don't think he can do anything. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
instead of doing this like weird guiding bullshit, can you like actually address what I'm saying?
Brother, you're saying nonsense if that's what you mean.
No.
That's
I
nonsense.
think it's not okay. Fine. If you think it's nonsense, tell me why.
Because you're
The logic-
when I
Why?
if I ask you, hey, what can a leprechaun do, right? And by leprechaun, I mean something that's just like a water bottle, right? Something that just has nothing to do with any conceivable definition of what we mean when we say leprechaun, right? Then you're gonna be like, oh,
Wait, hold on. Wait. So the issue is that we don't have consensus. So I have to by force agree with what your descriptor of a god is for us to have a
If you're
conversation.
asking questions
about us, about our beliefs.
I'm asking about you. I'm asking about the metaphysical being in your brain
Holy
that you
hell.
choose to
Holy
believe
hell,
in.
there is no metaphysical being in my brain. So I mean, I don't know
Well,
what you're
the one
talking
you
about.
made up, yeah, sure.
Is that what you say to make yourself like feel better about this? Rather, do you just want an argument for God's existence? I doubt you would understand any of these arguments. But do you want an argument?
Do you know what an internal critique is?
I mean, by the like what the academic or philosophical term, or like by
Yeah,
like,
you don't know
the
what it is. It's
argumentative?
okay. So an internal critique is when you presuppose specific aspects of another person's belief in order to question and or to test the consistency of their beliefs, right? So when I ask a Muslim, hey, if is it okay for Allah to send a prophet that marries a child, right? I'm not conceding in reality that Allah sent a prophet that married a child. I'm just asking the question whether it's okay, and I'm seeing if that's consistent with what they believe. And
Why
by
would I be
Allah
around the
there,
question?
I'm going to be assuming what they mean by Allah because I'm asking about what their belief is. So when you ask a Christian, hey, can God do this or can God not do that? Obviously, by God is going to
Oh,
be
okay,
understood
cool,
within the
sure.
context of the conversation. You're
Sure.
asking about the
Then you-
Christian's conception
Then
of
you,
God.
yeah, then you
You're not
can
just
agree,
talking
then you
about
can agree. Then you can agree. You're saying this God, this Abrahamic God, this Christian God is all good, perfect in the definition of what perfect is. Okay. And I'm asking you, how do you know he's perfect other than just the book saying so?
That is not what the freak you was just asking. You were going off of what that last dude was saying, which was utter
Yes,
bull crap.
because it goes
That's
off-
not what he was asking. No. That is not anything that you just said at all.
And
I
it's-
wasn't necessarily
and your
addressing that,
question
it
is
was going
still
off of the idea of
malformed.
authority.
because we already said God by definition is perfect. I'm gonna help you out
Okay,
because
cool.
you're just struggling so bad right now.
Do you know what circular reasoning
You
is?
know what you know what you should ask us
Okay,
instead?
you don't-
Circular reasoning?
Let me-
You think God exists because he's perfect and we say he's perfect because he's perfect? Like, what are you talking about?
that because he
Let me
exists. I said,
help
why
you
do
out,
think
bro.
he's
You're
perfect?
completely lost.
He's
You have no
perfect
idea what's
because he's
going on,
perfect.
bro.
That's the claim. I'm not saying that
Oh,
God
wait.
isn't.
That's a circular argument?
think he's perfect.
That's a circular argument?
He's perfect because he's perfect.
That's a circular argument?
Why is
Are you a human because you're a human? Oh, I guess that's a circular argument, huh?
nah? It's
yes, human is a social
is
construct.
a- is-
yes.
is a bachelor? Why is
Jesus.
a bachelor an unmarried?
Oh my gosh. I'm about to crash out on the third guess,
Yo,
bro.
Are we
Yo,
gonna
can you-
really just do like
These
social
dudes
social construct? Oh, so is this
Yeah,
social
Bro, I'm
construct
trying to
not
help
real?
you
Yeah,
out,
this
but you're
social
deaf.
construct's
You don't
real. What?
listen.
I don't care. Okay, can you address what I'm saying?
Yeah, what you're saying here is apparently if someone asked me why is a bachelor an unmarried man, and I said, well, that's just what the word bachelor means. Bachelor means unmarried man.
No.
Apparently that's
We are-
circular.
Okay,
Stop
what is
talking.
No,
Stop
then you have to go
talking
through
and
the
listen.
fucking. Then you have to go through the
Bro,
logic
stop
tree.
crashing
Then you
out,
have to say,
bro.
what is
Goddamn.
marriage? What's marriage?
Can you
what?
be
Well,
quiet?
marriage is when two
Can
people
you
are together.
be quiet?
Okay, well, so
for
when two
one,
people-
This gotta be some sort of like
Well,
y'all gotta be
yeah,
rage
well,
baiting
that's-
at this point,
so
bro.
roommates are married. I mean, if roommates are like together for so long and they just hang out. No,
What the frick are we talking about?
That's the fucking point. Okay, listen. When you're bringing up
I'm
these,
trying
these,
to help you
okay,
out,
then listen.
bro.
You're
Just be
not. You're not.
quiet.
You're not.
Yes,
No,
I
I'm
am.
not. You're
Yes,
not.
I am.
Stop.
Be
Listen.
quiet,
Just
bro.
listen.
Just be quiet.
Oh,
Just be quiet.
Jesus.
Listen with your
Just be
ears.
quiet,
Listen with
bro.
your
Just be
ears.
quiet.
Just listen with your ears.
Please
listen
just
with
be
your ears.
quiet.
Listen
Please.
with your ears.
Bro,
okay,
you cut
hear
us
me
off
out.
consistently this entire time. Can you let us talk?
If we are in a position
This ain't real life, bro.
that I was like, oh, okay. If we're in a position where you're
Bro.
trying to explain to me what a bachelor is, I would have to know a fuckload of different other things, right? I would need to know
Bro,
what
please
marriage
stop
is.
talking.
I need to know what
But you just wasting breath right now, bro. This has nothing to do with anything we're talking. You are so lost right now. You are so lost right now.
No, I'm
You do not know what's going on, bro.
Listen.
You do not know what's going on.
Listen.
This is so crazy. This
Listen.
dude asking us to listen, bro.
Can you listen? Okay.
Bro, every
If I'm
time
in
we
a
try to
position
talk,
where
you
you
cut
have
us
to
off.
explain to me what a bachelor is,
Can you shut
I have
up, bro,
to
please?
presuppose a bunch of other shit.
Oh
when you
my
tell
goodness.
me God is perfect, what
Can
the
you
fuck do you
be
mean by
quiet?
perfect?
Can you be quiet? Thank you. Here's the issue, right? What you're trying to ask us is how do we know that a perfect being exists? Instead, because you're ignorant and because you don't want to listen to people.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Oh my days. You could go rewind it in the live. Anyways,
That's not what I'm asking you.
instead,
I'm
what he
asking
asked
you,
us,
how can you claim they're perfect?
because the same way we can claim that a bachelor is an unmarried man, because unmarried man is
Dude, did you
contained
listen to
within
what I
the
said? Did you
definition
listen to
of
what I
a
said?
bachelor. Words have
Did you hear what I said?
definitions, bro.
Hey, buddy, did you hear what I said?
Oh my
How would I know?
days.
How would I know what a bachelor is if I don't know what marriage is?
Bro, if you don't know what marriage is at your grown age, then you're
Yeah.
probably just
No,
slow,
in
bro.
the example that you're giving me, you're telling me, oh, when you
All right, bro. We ain't getting nowhere, bro. Hello?
Hello. Thanks
What-
for having me on.
What's up?
I wanted to ask about the idea of the necessity of God being good. Is that okay?
Sure.
Why does sorry. In how you think about that, if it wasn't the Christian God, would God still necessarily have to be all good?
Yes. But there's
Why is that? I don't understand.
So goodness entails like goodness is an aspect of being, right? It is an aspect of existence. So if this thing is a perfect existence, he's going to be perfectly good. He's going to have perfect goodness. So we can deduce that God has to be just existence in and of itself and lack nothing. So if it lacks nothing, that means it's not going to need anything. And badness usually means that something lacks something. That's usually the definition. We say it's a bad knife. It lacks the ability to be a knife that actually works. So this God has no lacks. He's pure existence. He's going to be pure goodness.
Okay. So you mean in terms of any God who exists has to necessarily be a good God?
There's only one God, like by definition.
Yeah.
So he has to be good.
Okay. I guess where I come unstuck with thinking through that is that I think one of the problems I have with Romans 9, for example, talking about the potter and the clay and who gets to ask why they're made for certain things. I think that only is good or perhaps fair if it's something inanimate like that. The problem is creating an eternal being with the intention of destroying it forever. Not even destroying it, but punishing it forever. And I don't think that's good.
You think God makes us with the intention that we're destroyed? It doesn't say that in the Bible.
At least with the knowledge of it.
Well, he doesn't make us with the intention that we be destroyed. He actually intends for all men to be saved, but we do otherwise.
But the way Paul words it in Romans 9 is to say that it is with the intention. What if the potter makes things destined for destruction?
Yeah, if you read where he gets that from the book of Jeremiah, where the people do wicked things, and then God therefore fashions them for what they want to be a part of, which is destruction.
Basically, he prepares their punishment, but the punishment is as a result of their sin, not because just God wanted to make them feel pain.
So he's quoting Jeremiah chapter 18. Arise and go down to the potter's house, and I will let you hear my words. So I went out to the potter's house, and there he was working at his wheel, etc. We can go down. O house of Israel, can I not do with you as this potter has done, declares the Lord? Behold, like the clay in the potter's hand, so are you in my hand, O house of Israel. If at any time I declare concerning a nation or kingdom that I will pluck up and break down and destroy it, and if that nation concerning which I have spoken turns from its evil, I will relent of the disaster that I intended to do to it. And if at any time I declare concerning a nation or a kingdom that I will build and plant it, and if it does evil in my sight, not listening to my voice, then I will relent of the good that I intended to do to it. Now, therefore, say to the men of Judah and Israel and inhabitants, etc., behold, I am shaping disaster against you and devising a plan against you. So when he's shaping things, it's because of the sin that they do.
Okay.
It's not because he just looks at somebody and be like, oh yeah, I want him to go.
No, I wasn't thinking of it in terms of that. I think the overarching message is that this is, consequences for accepting or not accepting, or faith or not faith. I guess in that context of Romans, I feel like it's abhorrent to compare an eternal, not asked to exist being with an inanimate piece of clay. Like, I just don't understand why you would compare it that way. And then I think that if you're going to create an eternal being,
It's just because there's nothing that we could do. Like, there's the same way there's nothing that a pot can do. Like, it has to mold to what the potter wants. It's just a fact. It's not like we can escape hell just because we feel like we're powerful enough.
Is only able to be whatever the potter makes it.
Okay, we're only able to be good if God, gives us graces to do so, and also if He allows it to happen. Like, what do you mean?
Well, I guess the difference is that a piece of clay can only be what it's molded into by its creator, whereas I guess the Bible is saying that
He's not saying that we're literally like clay, brother. There's gonna be some parts of the analogy that aren't gonna be the same. That's why it's an analogy. He's just saying that those who do evil, they're gonna be prepared for evil, not evil, but for destruction, for the fire. That's it. And there's nothing they could do about it. No matter how much they want to go against it or whatever, there's just nothing they could do about it.
Yeah. And that's like the vast majority of people who are born, right?
I mean, that's irrelevant. If the vast majority of people wanted to cut each other's necks, like,
but that doesn't happen. So,
but we do other atrocious sins against
there
nature.
Are all kinds of people who do all kinds of terrible things, but they are the vast minority. Sorry.
No, they aren't. The issue is that when you say terrible things, you're thinking of like the most egregious examples.
Yeah. Like, we got so used to evil that we think that certain evils are just like good. It's like regular. It's like normal.
Yeah, I mean, because you want to say that, just thinking something. I'm also interested in the notion that the baby has, I think you said, original sin, even though they haven't committed a sin, and that I've not heard before.
Yeah.
How? So do you think that all people are primed for punishment before they even do a thing to reject?
I don't know what you mean by primed. I mean, they're born with some sort of punishment, which is simply the loss of grace.
That's what I mean by primed. Sorry. Okay.
That's just how we come in. That's just how our nature is, because we come from our parents.
Okay. So
it's just like I'm black because my parents were black. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, but nobody's going to send you to burning hellfire for being that. So
we're not sent to like burning hellfire for being that. We're just don't have the glorification.
Yeah. The burning for actual sin.
So if you were, so do you think it's like different for a baby that was killed?
It depends whether they're baptized or not.
Generally, so there's two kinds of punishment, right? We say it's the punishment or the pain of sense, which is like the physical, like sensual pain, like the fire. Then the pain of loss, which is the basically the loss of heaven. So you're not, if someone with only the pain of loss but not the pain of sense, they're not like burning, but they don't get to enter heaven.
Where do you get that notion from?
Church fathers.
This is taught throughout the tradition of the church.
Okay.
Like, if you're not,
it's also in principle.
I feel like that's an excuse.
It's in the Bible. No,
it's something where we say, the eternal damnation of babies is untenable, so we have to come up with something extra. Why would I not think that that's the case?
Again, in principle, it's contained in Scripture, where Christ says that he who commits sins knowingly, I think. What does the verse say, Jordan? Basically, that he who has committed greater sins is beaten with harsher blows versus he who committed sins ignorantly. are beaten with fewer blows.
Yeah, so there's like a parable with like servants, and like the master leaves, and then there's the servants that didn't know any better, but they still did. Like it gets confusing.
And then there's another passage where Christ talks about the weeping and the gnashing of teeth, right? So the weeping there within the church is described as the pain of loss, whereas the gnashing of teeth, that's the pain of sentence.
Oh,
Some people have both.
That. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It feels like, I don't know. That feels like a reinterpretation much later to suit it.
What are you basing your interpretations off of?
I guess with things like that, I don't know why.
Like, what are you basing it off of, though?
In the book. What? Sorry, I don't understand.
What are you basing your interpretation off of, though? Like, you said that's just like a reinterpretation or something. Like, what are you basing it off of?
Because I guess because if it's not explicitly in the Bible, then I don't understand why it needs to be so strongly held.
Christians have never held to only what's explicitly taught in Scripture.
Like, ever. Like, it would be impossible to read. Like, it'd be way too
Traditionally,
much.
we hold to everything Scripture teaches implicitly, explicitly, and the teachings of the church.
We have hundreds of pages written on just like few verses, just like in like a single church father.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even.
Your
Everything
critique
has
would
to be
be more
interpreted,
suited
I
against
understand.
like a Protestant for sure, though.
Why?
Because they do hold to a similar principle where they only accept what's
in the Bible
Scripture as revelation.
like explicitly, like, and just like it's just a little bit different.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. Okay. Oh, I mean, I don't have anything else to ask. I appreciate it. Yeah, talking through it.
No problem. Oh, that was what you was talking about? That was Luke 12? Okay, yeah, I do kind of know about that verse. Hey, see? God answer your prayers. We got into that. Low key, but I think that verse can also low key be used in terms of like papacy arguments as well. Low key. Because the servant's supposed to do right. Because the master left a servant in charge, one singular servant.
Hello.
And that seems to be the case normally through the parables. What's up?
So like I got a question for you. So like, do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God?
Yeah.
And you believe that Jesus is God too, right?
Yes.
So if there's only one God, how is Jesus the Son of God and he's God at the same time?
Because
Can you answer that for me?
God is just describing his nature. So when we say he's the Son of God, we're saying he's the son of one of the persons who has the same nature as him, which would be the Father.
So y'all have the what is it? The Trinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, isn't it the Holy Spirit, the Father, and Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
How? So like, I fail to understand how y'all believe in three things.
What do you mean? What does that
So
mean?
you're saying Jesus is God, the Father is God, and the Holy Spirit is God, right?
Yeah, they're the same nature.
So they're the same nature.
Yeah. Yo, y'all stop tapping the screen, bruh. And I know y'all ain't hitting that thumbs up on YT, bruh. I can tell. Y'all tripping. What was like the question though?
So do you believe Jesus has a mother?
Yeah, according to his flesh, he has a mother. But he's
How
still
is God able to have a mother if he's the all creator? If he's the one that's created everything?
because he created a body that he assumed and had Mary birth that body, so that's his mother.
What was the point of him doing that?
to redeem the human nature, because everything that he assumes, because he's God and perfect, he's repairing it because we're in a fallen state. So that
So he couldn't. So that was the only way he could reach us, the humans, during that time.
No, it was
You know,
just the
human
most it was just the most fitting way for him to do it. God does things in ways that are fitting, and that's going to be the best for our salvation. So he does it through sacrifice so that we can learn lessons of the sacrifice, and that also we can see how we're supposed to treat others, and also know that God loves us in different ways. So it's like teaching mechanism, and it's also just fitting for someone who's
So you're
who
saying he
loves.
sacrificed himself for mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I was just wondering, just a question.
All right, God bless.
So the guy who said God doesn't need a sacrifice, he also didn't need to make your slow eye. And yet here you are, bro.
That's sick.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
Is it nighttime there in America or is it morning?
So we
Kind of. It's
You guys have the American accent.
it's afternoon. I mean, we still could be in South
we all
America
over the
though.
world, for real.
Worldwide.
Okay. Now I want to know something. Is this a genuine statement that you're putting out? Is this a genuine give me a good reason not to be Christian, or is this like I just want to have an argument with people? Because I see a lot different types of TikToks here.
It's a genuine reason.
Okay. I think it's lagging a bit. I feel like
It's really laggy.
okay. So, yep. It's very bad, yeah.
Actually,
Is
just
it better
come
if I'm
come back
listening? I
up.
don't know.
Come back up, because I don't know what's up. It's Adjon laggy. Just re-request up. Hey, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. It's like the whole continent is moving. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up on YT. Tap the screen. Ooh, I probably should have read some of the super chats, but that's whatever.
Okay, now is it better now?
I hope.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's not lagging. Okay, so you said give me a good reason not to be Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit laggy still, but anyway, so the thing here is, okay, God has to be logical. Is that correct? According to your belief system, does God have to be logical?
I mean, I
Does it have
guess.
to align with logic and science?
What do you mean by logic?
Just logic, like human.
What
It
does
has
that
to
mean?
be human compatible to comprehend,
No, that's not what logic
and
means.
it has to be logical. It has to be logical. That's what I mean. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
get to
when
the
I
question.
ask you
Right? That's
what
not the
does
question.
logical mean, you can't just say logical means logical.
Reason, like it's reasonable. It has to be correct. Yes,
Okay,
like it has to align.
I'll just say
It has to
be
sum up. It has to
reasonable.
give it. It has to be reasonable and sum up. It has to have an equation, right?
An
Okay, can we
equation.
agree?
I mean,
Can we use the term that it has to equate something, right? Like God
Has to
equals something,
equate.
yes?
Has to equate. I
I
think.
don't even know what
To
that
like
means.
logic. That's what I'm
Look,
trying
you don't
to
have
say.
to use words you
It
don't know
has
what they
to
mean.
equate to logic. I can.
You don't have to use
I do
words
know.
that you've
I
never
do know
heard
what
of.
I'm
Are you
saying.
saying
I
God
had to
can't
speak
be
on that.
against logic? Like,
That's correct. God has to be logic, right?
no, he said.
So the thing is, I'm going to get to it. I'm so sorry if it's not making sense. Okay. The point being here is, right, God has to have perfect attributes that has to be befitting to him and his authority to be a God. Like God cannot contradict himself, right? Like, for example, if he's all living, he can't die.
In the same sense, correct.
Right.
And you know what I mean by
And
the same
when you
sense,
give an
right?
attribute to God of all living, see you have to define that. What do you mean?
I mean, I can't say that
Needs to all add up.
I can't say that this is black. This case is black, and then say this case is blue, because I'm talking about the case in the same exact sense. I can't say it's black and not black. Like, that's a contradiction, because I'm talking about the case in a certain sense, in a certain way. If I'm talking about it in different ways, like I say, yo, this phone or this rainbow is red and it's yellow. Okay, I'm talking about it in different senses. This part of the wavelength is
Or
this.
if I say, Jordan is not the same person he used to be. But all I mean is
Yeah,
that
exactly.
he a lot smarter now. But literally, I mean, he's still Jordan. Like he's not Michael B. Jordan. Like he's still Jordan Travis. So in
The
that
point
sense,
I'm
he's the
making
same.
here is
But in the other sense,
the
he's
point I'm
different.
making is God has to be perfect in his attributes and he cannot contradict himself. So God cannot actually, this is my point of view. Like I said, you don't have to accept it. That's up to you. There's no compulsion, right? But God, in my belief system, that's up to you. What you want to believe, it's up to you. God, in my belief, cannot contradict himself. So if he is ever living, he cannot die. If he is if he is self-sufficient, he doesn't require milk from his mother, he doesn't require nappy changes, and he doesn't require running away from others when they are chasing him down and then hunting him and then nailing him down to the cross.
That's literally what I just said. That's literally what I just said. Like, those are in different ways.
When we're talking about
That's your
God, just
definition.
when we're talking about God just as God, like with no sort of context, then yes, God does not need any of those things. God can never die, God, all those things. But we're not talking about God in that context when we're talking about Jesus Christ coming down to earth. We're talking about God in the context of assuming a human nature. So with respect to that human nature is going to have properties distinct from the divine properties.
Again, that's your belief system. Does that make sense?
Yes,
in my
it's my belief system,
they
and
cannot
it makes
coexist.
sense.
Like, for example, I can stand straight and say my God does not die and cannot die. And that
we can
never
say the same
happened
thing.
with my belief. But you can't say that because
Yes,
you
we
say
can.
my God died for my sins. You can't say that.
I can say,
Does that make sense?
I mean, I can say,
Your
I can
God
say,
died for your sins.
I can say your version of God. No, I can literally say your version of God doesn't
I can
exist.
sit down and try to make sense. Don't get me wrong. I can sit down and try to make sense of what you're saying. I can say, well, we can separate them, and we can say,
So you're saying that we could use reason to actually understand what we're saying, right?
That's illogical because it cannot coexist.
Okay, so if I tell you that you're not the same person that joined the live because you have different properties now, so you're not exactly the same as when you first joined.
How do I have different properties?
She is not.
That you're a bit older now. You were a bit younger 25 minutes ago.
So you have a change in God, is that right?
No,
like your God is changing through
listen,
time.
just listen,
No.
just listen.
Does your God change through time?
my
I told you she ain't gonna understand that jump, bro. I don't even know why you brought that
I can
up.
understand you guys. I just can't comprehend it in a logical way.
If you can't comprehend it, you're not understanding it. Like the definition of comprehend. What are you talking about?
Just let me finish speaking, and
Yours
it's
is
gonna
more
make sense.
so belief system, right? It's more
Can
so.
you just allow people to speak? And then it'll make sense.
Oh Jesus.
Doesn't make sense. Go.
So if I said you're not the same person because you're different right now than you were 5 minutes ago when you joined because you're a bit older now, and you said, well, I am the same person because in terms of my identity, I'm the same identity. I'm just not the same age. And I said, oh, actually, that makes sense. You're making a difference between your identity and your age. And you're saying with respect to your age, you're not the same. But with respect to your identity, you're still the same. But when you propose that to us and we say, hey, God, with respect to his divinity, he doesn't change. He doesn't die. He's all knowing. He's all powerful. With respect to his humanity, he can change. He can eat food. He can sleep. Now we're no
Mhm.
longer allowed to make that distinction, even though it's a normal distinction people make every day.
And again, I'm gonna say again that I completely respect that that's your belief system. Does that make
We're
sense?
not. We're not
I'm not
saying.
here. I'm not here to convince anyone to believe my belief
Did
system.
what I
right?
just say made sense?
It makes sense in the sense that I can
Perfect.
understand how you gathered that information and made it sense. But to me
Bro,
personally,
you are
it makes
yapping. I'm not gonna lie.
it absolutely makes no sense. No, I'm not
It
yapping.
makes
I'm being
sense.
serious.
Notice how-
It
no-
makes
notice-
It made it.
Let me-
It made it sense.
Jordan, notice how she just said it made sense in this way, but in this other way, it
It
didn't make
makes sense for me to have sympathy and understand how you could have gathered that information and pieced it together. I can understand that from your perspective, but for me, I still it's illogical in my perspective, in my
Why?
belief
Why?
system.
Can you explain why?
Because in my belief system, God cannot contradict himself. I can understand your
Okay.
example is befitting to you, but for me it is illogical. Why? Because my God cannot belittle himself like that. God does not die. God does not eat. God does not go toilet.
Okay,
God
so
does
God does not go toilet.
contradicting.
He does
Are
not
you
go
contradicting
toilet.
yourself when you say that
No,
you didn't?
I have respect that that's as much as you can gather, and I can
The
understand
world
it.
IQ is
But that
dropping.
doesn't mean I believe it. Just because I
We're
understand and
not. We're not
sympathize,
telling you to, bro. We're
it
not
does not mean
asking
that
if you believe it.
I believe it. I don't believe it.
Oh,
We're not asking if you
my
believe it.
goodness.
Like you're telling me basically, there's this fish, and this fish has this different kind of power to him that he can fly now. Okay, but I never
No.
see him flying, except I see a few
No,
little
no,
miracles
no.
in him. But he can't fly. But you're saying he flew.
No. This
Yes,
has nothing to. This has
because
nothing to do
you're
with what
saying
we're saying.
God is ever living, but then he died. But then he died in the human form, apparently. I'm supposed to believe that part. I don't believe it though.
We're not asking if you believe it. We're just making a distinction to make it. I can see how something makes
So
sense without believing it.
I can understand and sympathize that that's how you
But-
guys pieced it and made sense of it. And if that's your belief, that's up to you. But for me personally, in my daily life, I believe that my God
Bro,
is
we
ever
know what
living.
you believe. You said it already. But we're not here to talk about what we believe. We're here to
Yeah.
explain whether it makes sense or not. Those are two different things. If
Well,
someone
you know-
tells me that they believe that their boyfriend cheated on them and they say, well, this happened, I can see why they believe that. That makes sense. I don't have to believe that their boyfriend cheated on them now. I can just say, yeah, that does make sense. And if someone tells me that, hey, they believe that there's this person who has a wife but has never been married before, I could say, well, that actually doesn't make sense because that's a contradiction.
And that's what I do want to say. I do appreciate people that do respect each other's religions, because you know what? It is a belief system at the end of the day. We are entitled. Like, there's people that worship cows. Do you know what I mean? They actually believe that their God is a cow. I can't go and mock that for them. Do you know what I mean? If that's what they think is logical for themselves, then let them have it. Let them have their cow.
Freak is going. All right.
In all honesty,
All right. God bless. Lord have mercy. The IQ of the world is dropping. Travis versus YouTube. Appreciate you for the $4 super chat. God, like, it's a problem when I do it, but it's not a problem when they do it. Oh my goodness. Travis versus YouTube again with the $2. Appreciate you. It made sense, but it didn't make sense. Exactly. That's what I'm noticing. I said her God is not great and powerful. Yeah, clearly. Jacob Nathaniel, appreciate you for $2. Your God poops. Yeah. That's the argument. Catholic Mike for life, appreciate you for the $5 super chat. Yet her God has a shin, right? LOL. It makes sense when you make it sense. You get it? You know? But y'all just don't understand that clearly. That you make it sense. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up and tap the screen. Hello? Wi-Fi. So. Hello?
Hey man, I'm just saying, like, keep preaching the word, bro. You're doing a good job.
Appreciate it.
Hey, we're doing a good job, but we're not doing a good job.
In the same sense, hello.
Hello, so how are you?
What's up?
So, from my understanding, this live is about debating whether, or is about giving you a good reason why you should not be a Christian, right? That's it. Okay, my reason for you not being a Christian is simply because being a Christian means that you support violence.
What do you mean by violence?
You support violence. What do you mean? Do you not understand what the word violence means?
What do you mean when you say it?
I mean the word violence. Do I need to define the word violence for you?
I would like that because it has a certain connotation that some people just have a different meaning for it. Do you want me to just look up the definition?
So you're telling me that you don't know what violence means?
You can just look it up, brother.
Okay. By definition, violence is the intentional use of physical force or power to threaten, damage, or harm people, property, or oneself.
So if I say that people are allowed to defend themselves if they're finna get assaulted, is that violence?
Yeah, by that definition.
Wait. Can you repeat your question?
If I say that people are allowed to defend themselves, if I'm finna take your booty hole, you allowed to defend yourself.
That's a crazy analogy.
Is that violence?
Y'all clip that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you say, hey, just take it, huh?
Yeah, do you support self-defense?
He doesn't.
Hey, in the man,
you said just take it.
Talk alone.
Somebody
talk alone. Can I please be the only one debating against you?
Can you just?
Ain't no one else debating against.
I'm just asking you a question. So you just gonna let
quiet?
You just gonna let?
Don't ask questions. It's me.
God dang.
Listen, this is between
me personally. I can't take that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I would like this to be
I don't know.
between
It's like
me
these
and
kinds
the
of
host.
people, like they're not able to have a group discussion.
So there's like a big 6'9" dude, swole, bench 500 pounds. He finna take your junk, and you just gonna let him? Cause you don't appreciate violence.
Listen to me.
You just gonna open it up so there's no physical.
Your support
Okay,
women allowing themselves to get assaulted because
Listen.
they're not able to defend themselves.
I can't
That's
answer
right.
10 questions at once. I can't
It's
answer
the
10
same
questions.
question, bro.
You said to me, if someone were to now attack me, am I now wrong for using violence to defend myself?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Good. And I said, my answer to that is no, I'm not wrong. But that still does not change the fact that violence in itself is objectively bad.
Yeah, yes.
That literally is a contradiction with what you just said.
Yeah.
If you have to defend yourself,
Sometimes it's think of it like this.
Look,
think of it like this. Listen,
if it's bad in itself, it doesn't matter the context because you said in itself it's bad. If it depends on the context, then it's not bad in itself. That's the whole point.
Okay. I'm willing to accept that point.
Nice.
Okay. I've accepted that point. I refute that claim. Let's move on. Now, from the things that I've seen in the Bible, there are times where the violence is simply not justified. For example, when God commands a whole nation to be killed, even innocent people, what's the justification for that?
What do you mean
Was
justification?
the violence necessary? Was the violence necessary?
What would make it unjustified that God, the one who gives them life, is able to tell somebody to say, "Hey, take their life"? What's
so what you're gonna say to me now is, just because God is the one who created me, he can now like put me through whatever pain he wants to put me through, use me whatever way he wants to use me in order to prove his point or exercise whatever he wants to exercise.
Why can't he though? I'm just curious.
Why can't he?
Yeah.
Because he's a loving God. He loves me. He loves me unconditionally. He wouldn't want me to go through pain. He wouldn't want me to be slaughtered.
If he didn't want you,
my family.
brother, he's the one that he's the one that allows us to have pain. Like, what are you talking about? Like, pain is a form of correction. Like,
Okay. Listen, you're not following me. What I'm saying is, God commands the slaughter of a whole nation.
okay, why is that wrong?
I'm saying that is wrong because if God loved me, He wouldn't want me to be slaughtered with my family.
All right, if
Are you
your
saying
hold on, if your neighbors were grabbing your hold on, no, hold on,
me and my family?
hold on. Okay, if your neighbors was grabbing different members of your family and assaulting them, right?
Yeah.
And God said, "Yo, strike them just dead," right? Is he all of a sudden not loving because he doesn't want your family members to get kidnapped?
Yes. Why would He want me to be struck dead?
No, not you, the neighbors.
The neighbors, yes, them as well. If they're innocent, then why?
Okay, bro.
I mean, that's your
Why is
problem.
that
You out here thinking everybody innocent, bro. You don't be knowing what they be doing.
Okay.
Guess who knows
But
though?
in this,
Guess who
listen,
knows?
listen,
Hey, guess
listen.
who
You
knows
said
though?
context matters, right? You said context
No.
matters, right? In this specific context, there were innocent babies being killed. What were they
Dan,
being
we
killed
already addressed this, right? So on the one hand, it doesn't have to be one specific reason, but we can
for?
point out
Okay.
one, which is the
Okay.
fact
Give
that
me that reason.
which is the fact that children are born with original sin. So God could
Okay.
take life
Okay.
from a
Okay.
child,
Cool.
which would
Hold
be
it there. Hold it there. Hold it there. Children are born with
bro,
original sin,
what
right?
do you mean? I'm not even done talking.
Wait. Let's debate one point at a time. One point at a time.
I
You've
didn't
made your
even,
That wasn't even a full point.
with original sin.
well, we
Children
debating
are
half a
born
point
with
at a time.
original sin.
That's not even half a point. That's a quarter of the point.
The quarter of the point at a time.
Can he finish the point and then we could go over that?
Is already wrong. Okay, but okay, continue.
Yeah, so like Paul said, the wages of sin is death. And because children have inherited original sin, they've also incurred the punishment of that sin, which can be death.
Which can be death. So basically, what you're saying is children are just born with original sin, and therefore they are born deserving to die.
I think
Is that
all
what you're
men are
saying?
born deserving to die. Yeah.
Is that what you, okay? Children as well, right?
Yep.
Innocent children.
I mean, it's by definition if you're born without.
okay,
Hold on,
cool.
hold on. Let me explain. Good gracious, because I already know what your mind's thinking. By definition, if people are born without hydration, without water, right? Say we don't have like our own water supply where we hydrate ourselves, then we are in a motion that heads us towards dehydration and death. It's the same exact thing when we're not in communication with God. So we're tending towards that which is not life, i.e. God, which is death. It's not that like as soon as a baby's born, God's like, yo, that thing need to go. Like, get it up out of here. That's not the case. The point is that now we need food. So if we don't eat food, what's happening? All right, we're going to die. So we are tending towards death, things like that, except on a higher level because God is the ultimate goodness.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. When I'm born with sin, what sin have I done?
You haven't
You
done
haven't done anything.
It's original
I
sin.
haven't done anything. It's original. Okay, what's the original sin? Could you please just help me understand that?
So it's the deprivation of grace in your soul that you have received through the concupiscence of your flesh.
You've received flesh with.
Please excuse me. Please wait. English is not my mother tongue, so I do not understand the word concubine. So may you please use simple English there.
You received flesh that isn't attached to God in a way that gives you eternal life.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
So then
clarifying
your
that.
soul
So,
is
okay,
united to
who
that
gave me that
flesh.
flesh then? Who gave me that flesh then?
Your parents?
Your parents?
My parents. So I wasn't created by God.
Your
Your
body?
soul was. What you mean,
My
bro?
soul was.
And your body's also created by God, but it's through the flesh.
Okay, so
of the parents.
Okay, so if I am created by God, you literally just said my body and my soul is created by God.
Yeah, but
So
the
if
deficiency
both of those
comes from your
things are
parents, not
created
from
by
God.
God, then why is it my fault that I'm born with original
No one
sin?
is saying it's your fault. We're
Okay,
saying
cool. If
that you're
it's not my
born.
fault, listen, if it's not
Oh
my
my,
fault, why should I be
please.
punished for it? Why should I be held accountable then?
The whole point is that you're born without grace, which is needed for you to have life.
May you clarify, what do you mean, grace?
So grace is just something that God puts in your soul. Okay. And
Grace is just something that God puts in your soul.
yes, to
That's your
say it in the
definition.
simplest way possible for you.
It's just something that God puts in your soul. That's it.
I mean, do you want me to explain it in the most technical way so you don't understand it again?
I want you to explain it literally what it is, not in the most.
It's a habit in the
That's-
soul. That's what it is.
It's a habit in the soul.
Mm-hmm.
What habit?
Okay, bro. So when Adam was created, right? He was created with God's grace in his soul that made his body immortal. So his body was not capable of death, right? When Adam sinned, Adam's nature became corrupted. That grace which his soul had that came from God,
Yeah.
it was taken from him. He no longer had it when he sinned because he turned away from God. That made his body mortal. So now when you are born, you receive that same mortal body. And when your soul becomes attached to that body, it suffers
so
that
let's cut
same.
it short. Let's cut it short. Let's get to the
it's
beginning
su-
of this whole thing of
it's-
creation. Okay.
It suffers that same loss of grace, which condemnation is death due to the loss of grace.
Okay. So let's cut it short. I am God now, and I decide that I am going to create humanity. Okay. As an all-knowing God, all-loving God, I already know what's gonna happen. Okay, I already know that Adam is gonna sin, and because of Adam, and like this is a very stupid analogy for me because if I am God, then I don't know. You know what? Let me walk away from
It sounds
that.
like you don't even
I
know
already
what you're gonna
that
say,
God
bro.
is gonna. I already know that Adam is gonna sin. That sin is gonna cause the fall of mankind, according to you Christians, right? And given that Adam has sinned, millions of people are going to have to suffer. You said that I'm born with original sin, so therefore suffering for me is justified. Okay. Wouldn't you say that this whole thing could have been avoided by simply not creating humans or just working some sort of
No
miracle
way,
as
bro.
a
If God never created
I didn't
humans, then
finish.
humans
I
wouldn't
let you
suffer?
finish. I
No
let you
way.
finish. I let you finish. Okay.
I couldn't hold my tongue, bro. I'm blown away of the deepness of
Okay,
these
cool.
thoughts.
Listen,
Jordan, if God
listen.
never created humans, humans wouldn't suffer.
Listen to me.
That's
Okay.
deep. That's deep. Now go ahead.
Yes, indeed, you are proving my point. You say that if God didn't create humans, humans wouldn't suffer. Isn't that wonderful?
How is that wonderful? That's not anything. There's no wonder in that. There's no wonder in that, bro.
Suffering.
There's no one. There's literally no one.
Exactly.
No one
the
not
fucking
suffering
point.
also.
That's the point.
There's also no one not suffering.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, bro.
There's no one. There's not even a goodness of us
Let me put
existing.
it simply for you. Let me simplify it for you. Listen, I have a choice now. Create the humankind or create something. That something is going to experience pain, or just let me not create something so that nothing exists. Therefore, pain with that thing does not exist.
So you'd rather let
Yeah.
the evils that we could commit win over the infinite goodness that God can give us.
If God is bound
Bound.
to not be able, wait, listen to me. if God is
Enoch.
is not able to change that, then yes, the evil wins.
What?
What? Listen, bro. God had the choice, right? God creates the rules. As much as God can work a miracle where he miraculously raises Jesus from the dead, where he speaks a few words and a whole universe is created, where he is able
Bro,
to
we get it. He's all powerful. So
Yo, Eli, did you put my paper in your Discord, bro? Cause I might just tell him to read that junk, bro. Cause I don't know what the Eli ain't even in here, bro.
capable of that. Are you telling me that God was not able to create
he's
a world
able to do
with
all things, bro. It's fine.
okay, so
Now, why is he
so
obligated to do one over
why
the
didn't
other?
he just create why didn't he just make sure that the sin from done by Adam does not carry
Mhm.
on to me?
And why did he
couldn't
have to make sure?
Because I'm gonna suffer and he loves me, so he wouldn't want me to suffer if he loves me.
Brother, no, that doesn't even
It
equate.
doesn't follow.
Cause
He
suffering,
allows you to suffer doesn't mean he doesn't love you.
No, it
your
does.
suffering
If he
fixes.
loves
Hold on, your no. Your suffering fixes your soul. Because when bad things happen to you, you go away from those bad things, and those bad things are happening to you because you go away from God. So the suffering is pushing you more towards God and not away from God.
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
Oh, so when the suffering happens to me, what happens? May you please repeat what happens?
It's a form of training so that we know when something hurts, we try and get away from that thing that hurts, right?
Okay.
The suffering is happening because we move away from God. So when we get that suffering, we go back towards God so that the suffering will end, i.e., heaven.
Okay, cool. So this is a very lovely argument because now that means that what you're saying is suffering is necessary in order for us to become closer to God, right? That's what you're saying. What you're also saying is all kinds of suffering is necessary. Why can't I just
That's
suffer?
not what he said. That's
Okay,
not what he
why
said.
can't the suffering be limited?
That's a strong
You
man.
think we have unlimited suffering?
Wait.
Infinite.
I don't even know what that means. What are you talking?
Okay, let me clarify.
What would that mean for us to have unlimited suffering? Yo, what the freak would that mean? I can't even comprehend what unlimited suffering would be, bro.
Okay, what it means is if I have to suffer in order to be close to God, that doesn't justify why I should be born with bone cancer. I could have suffered in many other ways that aren't as painful as bone cancer.
But different people need different things.
I mean, this is your issue, right? You're thinking that God owes you some kind of protection that God has
Yes,
to
he
protect me
fucking
from
does.
this kind of.
He loves
he
me.
don't.
He told me he loves. Okay, that means he doesn't love me. That's it.
No, it doesn't.
And also, different people need different things, bro.
Right now, if you create me right now,
Okay,
right,
bro, can you
telling
just
me
stop
that
talking
you
for a
love
sec
me,
so we can
you
explain
are
this to you?
responsible for my safety.
Can we just stop? Can you just stop talking for a sec so we can explain this to you? What does it mean for God to love people? Because it doesn't mean He's your girlfriend, bro. Okay. When we say God
Girlfriend is
loves
romantic
people,
love. Why including love?
when we
Why
say
are you
God
including
loves
romantic
people,
love?
when
Why
we
are
say
you
God
including
loves
romantic
people,
love? Why are you including romantic love?
I'm not saying specifically romantic
Okay,
love.
don't do that. Then.
Oh my
Don't do that.
days, bro! Just let people
Don't
finish
do that.
talking. I'm talking
No, you
about
couldn't
your
let me finish talking,
conception
so
of
now I'm
love
doing it
is
to you.
holy smokes, bro. All right, let me know when you're done so I can start. All right.
Okay, now I can let you finish.
When I said he's not your girlfriend, I'm not saying that he doesn't abide by this creaturely form of love that you're thinking of. Now I know you're a carnal person, so you
What makes you
immediately
think it's creaturely
see
love?
me
What makes you think
personally.
that?
I don't attach girlfriend with sexual stuff because that's what you do with the wife, not with the girlfriend. But that's just me personally, bro. But
Okay, I said romantic. Who said sexual? Who
now,
mentioned anything
what
about
does
sexual?
romantic mean?
Romance is sex. Is that what you're saying?
It's bro. Oh my days! You know what? This is gonna become a whole side discussion.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your
Now let's
reply,
get back
bro.
to the main point. When we say God loves people, what does that mean? Does that mean, he feels warm and fuzzy inside, that he has all these nice emotions? No, bro. God is not a human.
Okay, what does it mean?
It means that
Okay, what
God
does it
wills
mean?
the good for all people. So even if you're suffering, the very fact that you're suffering is proof that God loves you, because if God did not love you, you would not be alive. You would not be existing in this world. He is literally causing you to exist, which is a good thing, which he
Okay.
does. And to love is to cause the good in his creatures. So he can allow you to suffer.
That is such
He
a contradictory statement, man.
He can allow you to suffer, just like how I couldn't allow my child to suffer, and yet that doesn't mean I don't love my child.
Would you
Because the
allow
reason
your
why I
child?
allow my child
Would
to
you allow
suffer,
your child
the
to
reason
be born
why
with
I
bone
allow
cancer?
my child to
If
suffer
you had a
is,
choice,
bro, can
would
you
you
stop
allow
talking,
your
bro?
child to
Oh
be
my
born with bone
days,
cancer? No,
folks, can
answer the damn question. I already know where your argument's going, and I'm not gonna listen to it if I already know how it ends. Would you allow your child to be born with bone cancer if it was in your hands?
If God said that was the thing to do, then yeah, like you have to.
No. I'm talking about you. Would you allow your child?
I'm not all knowing and all loving, so I might make a wrong decision.
He's
This
the one
is
that used,
the
he's the one that
again.
used his
This
child
is the
as
difference that you're
as an
not
example, right?
understanding. This is the difference that you're not understanding. God is not a human. His relation to humans is not as a human mother's relation to a human child. God
My
has no
question-
obligation to humans, whereas a mother has obligations to her child.
He has no
However-
obligations to humans.
However, I'm pointing out the fact that even in human relations, we can
He has
understand
no
why.
obligations
Oh my
to
days,
humans.
bro! Can you allow people to finish talking?
No, I will not allow you to make false
This is
statements
ridiculous.
and continue to use those false statements to
What was
support
my false statement?
further false.
This is ridiculous, bro. Can I finish what I was gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead, finish, G.
Yo, thank goodness.
All I wanted to say, bro, was that we see even from human to human relations, we can allow people we love to suffer so that good may come about, and that's exactly what God does. He allows suffering to happen.
Now, can you
Oh
move
my
dog pick
days,
down to the
hey, bro,
comments?
y'all can't control y'all's mouths, bro.
No, I just
Hey, pause.
add to the conversation, dog
This is
pick.
absolutely
Post,
ridiculous,
can you
bro.
mute dog pick?
I don't even know who y'all talking about, bro. I have no idea who y'all talking about.
Post, this is an A and B conversation. I want dog pick to see his way out of it.
You scared to talk to me or something?
No, I'm just here for a 1v1, him and me.
Oh, you talking about dog? Oh, you talking about Abe?
Oh, 1v1. What, y'all finna fight or some shit? What y'all
No,
finna
I
do?
said I'm here for a 1v1, you and me till the clock strikes none, and when I get that lightning gun, you better start to run, son.
Oh hell no, bro! Ain't no way.
Now sit
That
down
was
there in the
corny.
comments and be quiet while the man's
My
is
guy,
talking,
this
dog
ain't
pick.
battle rap. This ain't no 1v1 battle.
All right,
rap.
dog pick. Now let me talk to the host. The man's is talking. You be quiet, kid.
Nah, spit
All right.
spit one more rhyme and I might just shut up.
Shit, I'm gonna let you get the power up so I can have some more fun. I'll come around the corner, I'll start to juggle, and I won't miss one. Now, as that clock ticks down from that 3 to that 2 to that 1, I'm gonna get you with the shield gun just for fun. You'll be so angry after we get done, because I had 30 kills and you had none. All right, now mute up, dog pick. You got nothing of value to add to this conversation. Let me
I mean,
talk
I
to the
was,
host.
but then that shit was kind of ass. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what's ass? The fact that you said so much without saying anything at all. Now get down there in the comments
yeah, that
and let
makes
the mans do the talking. Host, you ready for 1v1?
Go ahead, bro.
All right.
Hey, host a rapper
mute your
too,
little
bro.
dog up.
He gonna clap back.
I'm ready for it, bro.
Clap back.
I'm here for the battle. Don't you know I'm the militant atheist? I'm ready for the spiritual warfare, brother. Just kidding. Ain't no spirits. All right. So, you want a reason, a good reason, not just any reason, a good reason not to be a Christian. All right. Here it is. I'm going to lay it down for you. Because in order to be a Christian, you have to believe things that go against what you do as a Christian. So, let me break it down.
Wait, why is that?
Exodus.
Why is that a bad
Let me
thing?
break it down. What does Exodus 22:18 say? Anybody got that one memorized off the top of their heads?
I'm
I'll
sure
just
it's
spell it
one
out
of
for
the
you. It's
slavery
suffer
ones.
not the witch to live.
Oh,
okay.
witch, okay.
So now let's break down what witchcraft actually is. It's the practice of magic or use of spells, right? So when Jesus used necromancy to raise Lazarus from the grave, y'all should have been the first ones to.
How do you know he used? How do you know he used necromancy? How do you know he used necromancy?
So that was necromancy, okay?
How do you know
When
that?
he used excuse me, I'm still talking. When he used a curse on that fig tree,
How do you know that?
also witchcraft.
How do you
when
know that?
Elijah cursed those children with the bears.
Yeah, but how do you know that? That's what I'm questioning.
Because
Like, how do
he's
you
a
know?
flying zombie Jew witch, okay? You got to keep up, brother.
Alright,
You got to
this
keep up.
man's not serious, bro. That's not serious.
Yeah, bro. It's common denominator, bro. That's all I'm trying to say.
What's up with all these atheists tonight, bro? Hello?
Hello?
What's up?
What's up? That guy was weird.
Yeah,
As
It's all
hell.
good. We don't
That was
judge. We don't
strange.
judge, bro.
I do.
Keep up. Okay, bro. So,
What's up?
what's up?
No, I'm not here to try to convince anybody not to be anything. I think that's disingenuous.
Okay.
Yeah. I just think that religion can be harmful to some people. It was harmful for me, and I think it can be a good pathway for some people. And I think some people might be harming themselves by being religious. And I think that some people need to realize that maybe the reason maybe why they're unhappy is because they're religious. That's why I was for a long time, personally.
What denomination were you?
I was a Christian, like you guys.
No, but what denomination, though?
I don't actually. I think I was a Baptist. I was just following kind of what my parents told me to do.
If I was a Baptist, I'd probably agree with you too, bro.
Yeah.
We're not
Well, like, we
Baptists,
got-
though, so.
I mean, I think that we can distinguish between different religion traditions. So, like, obviously, if you're a Mormon, there's going to be different effects from you being a Muslim versus you being a Catholic versus you being a Hindu.
Well, yeah. But that's the thing about Christianity that I don't understand. Like, there's so many different denominations to this religion. Like, y'all can't agree on certain things, and you expect people to.
Well, they
like,
can't
trust
agree.
you guys.
There's different, like, denominations. There's supposed to be one true
Yeah.
church.
Being.
Well, Catholics. You talking to Catholics over here, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
What
I
you
just
think
think.
about, Catholicism?
I haven't really looked into Catholicism. I'm not really interested in that because I was never into the Catholic Church. I was raised Christian, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's Catholics are Christian.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that.
But they're not that type of Christian that you were. That's Baptist.
That's Baptist.
Yeah. You should look into it. Mary was pretty cool, you know?
I'm not too interested in it.
What are you
'Cause
interested
you know how
in?
all of, like, the Baptists and like the Protestants, you know how they be like super misogynistic sometimes?
Yeah.
Like in the Catholic Church, we believe that the greatest creation that God ever created was a woman.
That's
Mary.
interesting.
Yeah.
What are you
No, I didn't
interested
know
in,
that.
though?
Science.
You know, one of the greatest scientists of all time was a Catholic.
Yeah, who?
Galileo.
Yeah, really way back in the day when people would be killed for speaking about being atheists. You think that's reliable?
I mean, Georges Lemaitre was, too, the guy who came up with the Big Bang.
Yeah, I know that, but what does that have anything to do with it?
I mean, you just said you like science. I'm just telling you, there's plenty of scientists that are Catholics.
Yeah, the church is historically one of the greatest contributors to science.
I really am not sure what that's supposed to mean.
You don't know what it means to contribute
Well,
to
I mean, the
science?
reason you have science as it is today is largely in part due to the Catholic Church.
Well, it's largely in part because they went away from Catholic, like what they generally believed. Like Catholics, they would be like geocentricists. They thought that everything orbited around the earth, and then one day somebody was like, no, and they were still Catholic. You know what I mean?
Did you hear the part about Galileo being
Yeah, I did, but I'm just saying that the church.
He wasn't a geocentrist.
I know that. That's exactly what I mean. Like, but other Catholics where the church was like things orbit around us, or
Yes,
like
certain people were. That wasn't the belief of the Catholic Church, though.
no, I'm aware of that. But I'm just saying, like, throughout history, people who were still religious and held on to religious beliefs were often just, like they were oppressed, or the church kind of pushed back on the things that they were saying because it went against the stuff that they believed. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Like, the earth being flat, or the things orbiting around the earth. You know what I mean?
What in Catholicism's teachings teaches us the opposite of that?
No, there's like, like way back in the day, people believed that that things orbited around the earth, the sun and all the planets orbit around the earth, or
This
that
wasn't like a religious belief, though.
That's just what people.
I'm aware of that, but it's just, I'm not aware it's not a religious belief. I'm just saying that this was because of religious teachings. Like, they thought that things orbited around the earth, we were the center of the
What
universe.
teachings did they get that made them believe that?
They thought it was from the Bible. They thought it was from, the book. They thought it was from the Catholics and people way back in the day, religious people way back in the day, even religious people now.
How did Catholics believe that when I just told you that the Catholics were like scientists and Galileo was one of them?
I know, I'm telling you this, that although Galileo was a Christian or a Catholic, he was still saying things.
No, I mean,
that
I
were
wouldn't
going
say
against the
they
Catholic Church.
believed that because of the Bible. I mean, because people who didn't even read the Bible, like, this was the common view amongst like all humans, because they would look up at the sky and see
That's
the
true
moon
too,
and
yeah.
the sun move around them, and they would just assume that all these things are moving around them. They're not the ones moving.
Yeah, that's true. And then, but people had sort of spiritual things connected to this. Like, they thought we were the center of the universe, because humans to them were the most important things according to their beliefs.
Are humans not the most important thing?
To me, not. I mean, to me personally, I love people, but I think that we're kind of self-centered creatures naturally, and I think religion kind of feeds into that.
What about Catholicism teaches that we should be self-centered?
I'm not saying that does, but I'm just saying that I think it kind of leads to that naturally. People are.
Which part about the greatest love is to die for your friends is selfish?
No, I mean like as in like we put ourselves above other animals, like on Earth. We put ourselves above plants. We put ourselves above.
You think a dog is better than you?
No, I don't think that.
Again, I don't think that's because of religion. I think that's you could prove that
from reason. Like you can use basic. Like an atheist can believe that.
All
I do think
societies
that, but
across
me personally,
all history have always, put a child over the life of a raccoon. Like,
no, I know that, and I agree with that too, like in extent. But I think that the way that we are going about it is kind of detrimental to the environment. It's detrimental to Earth. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you're saying that, like,
I think you're just
ignore the Earth.
I think you're just saying that people in general just do stuff, and it like has nothing to do with the religious aspect, though. Like,
well, sure, no, it definitely doesn't, but I think it feeds into that in a way.
How though?
Contributes. I mean, I would think it contributes the opposite direction, because
I think it can. I think it definitely has the ability to. People definitely love the Earth, and they love the creatures of the Earth because of their religion, or they love people and stuff like that because of their religion. But I also think that some people put themselves above other animals and above other creatures and say like, hey, we are supposed to be the rulers of the Earth, and therefore we shouldn't care about it. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Shouldn't care. It's crazy.
Conclusion you should come to, but
I know.
If you look at like serial killers and stuff, how they be like unaliving like animals when they're like younger and stuff. I mean, and they're they all atheists for real. So
not all of them. You think that all? You think all
serial
of them
killer
are
was? What serial killer wasn't atheist?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I
mean, all the top five, like
the people who unalived the most people in history were
definitely been family annihilators who have been claimed that they've been
like
told
the dudes who was
they killed their family.
The Chinese dude was atheist. The Russian dude was atheist. The German dude was atheist.
Okay, the people who killed all the Native Americans were Christians. The people who slaughtered Africans are Christians. So I'm not really sure what your point is there.
You talking about
people who committed genocides have been Christians as well.
Yeah,
in
that
Africa
wasn't
and
because of
America.
Christianity though.
No, but I was
But
talking
it
about
was.
like
Do you know? Do
they
you know what
wasn't
manifestation
genociding.
was? But do you
They
know what
wasn't
manifest?
just.
I know that, but do
I'm
you
talking
know
about
what?
animals though. We're talking about the nature.
No, I'm talking about people here.
Like who you think is more likely to mistreat the environment?
People who just don't care for the environment. I don't think it really has anything to do with. I mean, I think religion may play a role into that.
Yeah. What do you
But
think like leads to people not caring about the environment more? Like people who believe that, God has given them the world so that they may take care of it and that they're one day gonna, rule over it, or the people that believe that everything here just exists because, something blew up one day and there's no greater purpose to anything and it doesn't really matter what we do.
well, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure it has. Well, now thinking about it now, it probably doesn't have anything to do with like one or the other. Like it probably has more to do with how that person was raised, or how they think about themselves or the world around them, how their brain works.
I don't get how any of this has to do with the Christian religion, though.
Well, if you don't want to say that it does, then we can move on to something else.
I think the principles in Christianity are ordered towards taking care of the environment, whereas I would say that the principles of other worldviews, like atheism or something, are not ordered towards that at all.
Well, atheism isn't necessarily a worldview; it's just a disbelief that God exists.
It's definitely a worldview.
Well, okay, my bad. It's not. It's a disbelief. It's not like a religion. You don't follow specific criteria to be an atheist. Like you don't follow
Well-
specific moral values. You just say, "I don't think a God exists" or "Gods exist," and that's really all atheism is. There's not any specific like book to
Yeah.
it.
Well, I suppose I just mean like the worldview that usually is usually held by atheists, like this sort of naturalistic idea that everything exists based off coincidence. And
Well, I mean, yeah, pretty much.
I would say that worldview is not ordered towards like any sort of bettering of the environment or anything.
I wouldn't
Whereas
say that.
Christianity,
It definitely depends on the person.
I would say it obviously is.
Sure, yeah, I can agree with that. I can see that.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say? Or?
I mean, I don't know, not really. I just think that Christianity itself can kind of be harmful to individual people, Like, I think me personally, I thought that, like, we're taught as Christians that we're morally wrong or that we're morally, like, we're just immoral, we're born that way. And I think that that's harmful to some people's self-esteem, or it's harmful to the way some people view themselves. And it was definitely harmful to the way I viewed myself. Like I think it can be harmful for some people. And I think some people put this unnecessary pressure on themselves to be good or extremely moral. And I think religion
So
can
you
just
think
kind of
people
be-
shouldn't try and be good, or
No, I didn't say that at all. I'm just saying that some people try to live up to these like supernatural standards, like avoiding like maybe homosexuality, avoiding drinking, avoiding certain things that aren't aren't necessarily harmful. But
how do you know what's harmful though?
what do you mean? What causes harm to people?
Yeah, how do you know what's harmful?
What causes harm? Yes, what causes harm is harmful.
Are you talking about like physical harm? Because
Yeah,
harm
like
could be,
physical harm, mental harm. What causes harm is harmful. I don't
but
know
not
what you
all
mean by
harm
that.
is harm you could detect.
Yeah, like mental harm is maybe harm that's hard to detect, but physical harm probably is not.
But when you say harm, that usually means something negative. You understand that, right?
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
But if I feel bad, like not me, say Abe feels bad because he wants to like go to a playground and like snatch up kids, right? And he's fighting that urge to do that. Is that wrong? Like it hurts him that he doesn't snatch up kids. Like it's harmful to him by your definition. Like,
But it would cause more harm onto kids and the families of those kids if he did do that.
how do you measure who has more harm? What are you talking about?
What if I was
Well,
able to do it in a way that did not cause harm to?
Like they didn't
No way
even.
you could do that
So
in a way
like,
that could not
so,
cause harm.
so
to
what if
people.
I got AI generated? This is not me no more. What if another person did this? I'm not.
You already said, you might as well keep it consistent. Just keep it
The
consistent.
subject of this hypothetical. Okay. So what if another person like went on ChatGPT and got AI generated like pictures of children, and then they started like, you know, doing inappropriate things in private? Would you say they're not? I mean, they're not harming any children.
No, I see what you're saying. I still think it's immoral because
That is strangely specific.
yeah, I see what you're saying though, but the problem there is like, what else could that lead to? And I think that people who are like that tend to avoid help. And I think that people who
Why
are
would they need help though? That's the question.
because they have because one, it can be like it could be mentally harmful to themselves, and then two,
How do you know that it's mentally harmful to themselves? 'Cause you're saying homosexuality ain't,
okay,
but this
so
is.
what? Okay, moving on from whatever that was, but I'm saying that like sometimes this can be like painful for people to realize that they're this way and they don't want to be this way, and then maybe they'll go out and
Well, what if they want to be that way? That's the question. Is that like
then they'll go
okay?
out and they'll harm people, and that's not okay. So that's why it's harmful.
How do you know they're gonna harm somebody though?
Well, if they don't and they just keep it inside, then how are we ever gonna know about it?
Or
If they
like, what
use
if,
AI
what if they
generated
like,
imagery.
what if they like put peanut butter on a body part and they let their pet lick it? Like,
What the
is
fuck
that?
are you talking about?
Like,
I'm trying
would
to
that
come
be
up with
harm? Like,
situations that,
is that harmful?
yeah.
Is that an ordered way of thinking?
To have unconsensual sexual
You
relationships.
can't consent. Like dogs don't. They just don't know what they just want peanut butter.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't care if it's weird. Is it harmful though?
To a dog? To the dog?
To anyone.
I mean, I guess not, but it's weird and it's
All right, then is then
Immoral, right?
then
it
to
is
you.
immoral, yes.
How is it immoral if it's not harmful according to you?
It's just immoral. Like, why would you do that?
How is that immoral?
I mean,
Just because? Well, why would you do that? That doesn't.
Does it say it in your Bible that it's immoral?
But you
well,
can't
yeah,
use
the
our.
Bible says. Well, we would say that the Bible lays out like a clear purpose for, you know, this sexual acts, which is procreation, for example. So any sexual act that's not ordered towards procreation is going to be wrong, immoral, which is why doing it with, you know, animals is wrong, or doing it between two men is wrong, or two women is wrong, because they're
That
not
is
ordered
true.
towards that end.
You think that it's immoral to have sex that's not related to procreation?
Where that's not the intended end. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, but okay. Not
I
quite
mean,
sure.
it's still the justification. That's why I could say it's wrong to do that with your dog. But I mean, what is your justification for saying it's wrong to do that with a dog? Other
Because I
than it's
see a dog is an innocent creature that doesn't know any better. It's like saying, why is it wrong to do it with like?
what do you mean innocent? Like it's
It's
you're
just
not
a
hurting the
dog,
dog.
and it's just eating peanut
But
butter.
but it's still strange.
And
Yeah, but why?
a lot of people like strange
For us,
things.
it's
Like
strange
it's
because
strange when some people go to cosplays. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. Like
Bro, all right, I see what you mean, but like, it's like it's just like, why would you do that? Like, you have to like question somebody's like moral, like you have to question their sanity for doing something like that.
why though? Like
Because
we have a reason. Like I'm just.
so you want me to try and give you a reason as to why having a dog lick your private part is weird.
Well,
For you,
Why do you need me to?
because what you say is wrong, it's just arbitrary. You just saying, "Oh, this is wrong," just because I think it's wrong. Like it's just arbitrary. There's no reason behind it. You just do it. You just say, "Oh,
Yeah, sure. In some cases, sure.
you don't see an issue with that."
No, I do. I mean, like what do you mean an issue with it?
Like
I mean,
you can't really say that anything is like actually wrong. It's just, oh, I just feel like it's just off. Just whatever.
That no, you can definitely say that some things are actually wrong.
Is the licking of the peanut butter off of the? Is that wrong?
Yes, I believe it's wrong.
Why?
Yeah,
because I believe it's wrong. That's a strange.
It's wrong just because I believe it's wrong. So Abe, he doesn't believe it's wrong.
It's sadistic.
So it's right just because he believes it's right.
I do.
No, I see what you guys mean, but I don't know how you want me to come up with a reason as to why.
I don't think you ever can. Like, you're not going to be able to without like.
Yeah, I think the point is like if you reject this principle, which is basically like natural law, right?
Like objective morality.
No, well, more so that like certain actions were are given certain like purposes, like how sex is given the purpose of procreation.
Biologically, like yeah, but
And
it's also from a biological standpoint, from a
but the whole point
stance
is
of
like
pleasure. So
if you deny this principle, then you're denying the very thing that makes it wrong. So now there is no more reason as to why it's wrong. You just have to say that. It's just you just feel like it's wrong. It's just weird.
okay, so you think that? So wait, I'm lost. So you think that having sexual relations with an animal is on the same level as two men having sexual relations with each other because it's not leading to procreation?
Well, on the same level, like no, I wouldn't say they're the exact same level. I would say that there's a sense in which the two men is worse, actually.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That's insane.
But
Actually.
only insofar as I believe that two souls are being harmed in that act.
You think two souls are being harmed by people having sexual relations with each other?
Yeah,
Why
because
are
they
you
both
even
sin.
concerned about that?
Because I care about their souls, their salvation.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean they're both disordered because they both go against that same principle. And then that's kind of this is called like a reductio. You're saying that if you deny this principle, it's going to entail some absurd conclusions. Like
So if I deny that homosexuality is wrong, I'm denying that bestiality is wrong.
it would lead to that.
No,
I'm
it
not
would
saying
not.
I'm not saying
No, it
you
would not.
I'm
What are
not
you
saying
talking
you
about?
I'm not saying that you
These are
specifically.
no. I
No,
mean, like,
I'm
no.
not
That nobody is going to think that way.
I'm not saying that you think that way.
Pedophilia, homosexuality isn't wrong because pedophilia is wrong. That doesn't make
I'm
any
not.
sense.
I'm saying that the thing that makes pedophilia and homosexuality wrong is the same thing that makes bestiality wrong.
No, it is not at all. What are you
So what makes
talking about?
bestiality wrong?
Because these are animals that don't know what's going on. These are animals. These are like, what do you mean? What makes bestiality wrong? What makes
You're
homosexuality
saying they don't
wrong?
know
Because
it's if they don't know what's
children
going.
don't know what's going on either. They
Is it
can't
wrong?
consent.
Is it wrong for me to feed peanut butter off a spoon to my dog? They don't know what's going on. Apparently.
No, I mean, what are you talking about? I mean,
So
you
then
have
why
to,
is it
as a
wrong to
person,
feed it
you
off a
have to,
body
as a
part?
person, realize that there was something wrong with
I
that.
do realize the fact that it's disordered because they're
So you
using
think that? So
sexual
you think?
acts
Whoa,
in
whoa,
an
let me get this
improper
straight.
manner.
Let me get this straight. You think the only reason why bestiality is wrong is because it can't procreate? Do you think the only reason why pedophilia is wrong is because you can't procreate with that?
I mean, that's one of the reasons. That's not the
Oh,
in
that's
that
actually
case. There,
insane.
in that case, there's
What?
multiple reasons why that is wrong. But it would even if those other reasons weren't applicable, it would still be wrong in virtue of that one fact.
Because you can't procreate with what?
It's not ordered towards procreation. I mean, like, can you respond to the spoon thing? Right? You say it's wrong because the dog doesn't know what's going on.
No, I said
But
it's wrong to have sexual relations with an animal because
because what?
Because they don't know what's happening.
So is it okay for me to pet them? Because is it immoral for me to pet them because they don't know what's happening?
No.
What are they supposed to
That's
know?
not what makes
What are they supposed to know though? Like,
Because there's nothing like, okay, so here's the thing. You have to understand that people, like, the way that they view things is going to be different. So, like, if a person is going to view things a different way than a dog is going to view something, obviously. So,
I
like,
mean,
if
a person's gonna view licking somebody else's butt differently than a dog is. Like,
yeah. So,
like if a cat licks themselves, like, is that cool when, like, if you do it or like,
if I start looking myself,
yeah.
I mean, if that's your business, I guess. Like, why would you care if I just start randomly
Well,
looking?
why would you care if somebody's letting the dog eat peanut butter?
Because I have to question them at that point. Like, why are you like?
I would question
no,
you
that's what you're saying.
if you're licking yourself. Why are
I
you
know
licking
you have every
yourself?
right to do that because why are you licking yourself? Yeah, but at the same time, like the way people's understanding of sexuality works is different from the way an animal's understanding of sexuality works. At that point, it's from a stance of like, power, control, feeling. I don't know, like that's weird. Like from that sense, it's like pleasure. Animals don't really view it that way. So when
So if they don't view it that way, then why is it wrong?
because that's the way the human viewed it at that point. So like, why are you trying to get pleasure from an animal.
But which humans? Because the human that's letting that happen is just gonna be like, this is
When I play fetch with my pet, that brings me pleasure to see him
It
go
also
and
brings the
fetch it.
cat pleasure.
Yeah, so I
You play
just
fetch with
pointing
a
things
cat?
out that are not actually what's making it wrong.
Yes, you could. Could you?
What do you mean?
Like simply seeking pleasure from an animal is not wrong.
But seeking sexual pleasure from an animal is completely different than seeking like
Yeah,
joy.
but why? Yeah, we agree it's different. But why would you say that seeking sexual pleasure from an animal is wrong?
Because it's from like a sense of like domination or control.
So if I want my girl to dominate me, like that's
different. That's completely different. What are you talking about?
why is that different?
Because it's
No,
you.
it's
It's
not
you and
different,
two
bro.
consenting adults. You are two consenting adults. You're not. She's not a cow.
So if I don't know whether it's right or wrong, like I'm an animal that doesn't have any reasoning, like what would make that like wrong though?
Because of the way the human views it, they view it as a way of power and control.
So the human's view dominates everything else?
That's not really what I'm saying.
That has to be what you're saying. It says, oh, the human views it this way, so F what the dog cares about.
Well,
The
why?
dog just wants the peanut butter. The dog don't really care. You don't really give a damn. It's just like, hey, it's free food. Snack.
Yeah, and we could even look at a different example where like some guy posted it.
So
on
it took you all that time for you to come up with this different example.
No, because she's concerned about like the dog's consent, right? Well, if we take something that
I'm
no
really more
consent is
concerned about the human's intentions. I'm concerned about both equally. I'm concerned about the human's intentions
well, we could just say the human's intentions is to feel that pleasure.
from an animal.
Yeah.
Why do I have to reason why that's just wrong?
Well, we have reasons as to why you would just know that's wrong, but that
You can't procreate with it. So if you just took away the procreation,
that's well, technically for us, that wouldn't be the only reason. We think that God would have been.
then what's the other reason?
God would have installed that in you to know that that's just like disordered. But that's besides the
I would
point.
have installed that in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's two ends to marriage, or to the marital act, to sexual
Good
pleasure.
Lord. Is
What-
to have kids.
To have kids and to be united with your wife. But again, none of these are fulfilled.
So every single time that a husband and a wife have sex, they need to have the goal of creating children.
Otherwise, it's sinful. Yes.
So they just can't use protection or anything, or birth control,
Nope.
or condoms, or nothing like that.
The church has historically condemned contraception.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's say that the animal wasn't alive, so it was a dead turkey.
What
he
the
was-
fuck?
Yeah, and he was doing things to it, and then after he finished, he washed it. He claimed.
Why did he have to finish though?
What are you even talking about at this point?
Because I'm about to tell you what he did after. So
Oh,
you
okay,
stop
okay,
and
okay.
mention. So yeah, after he did what he had to do, he cleaned it, make sure everything was clean. He cooked it and he ate it. Is that wrong?
Why would you be having sex with a dead animal? What's the human's intentions there?
Let's say his intentions are to basically the same intention the teenage boy had when he watches corn.
Just to get one out.
Yeah, he's just trying to get one out.
So you fuck a dead turkey?
People do crazy things.
You
He
wouldn't
likes
say
how
that.
it feels. He likes how it feels.
Yeah, the intention there is like, yeah, like what's the like? Why would you have to like? But why would the turkey be like? What's the intention
It
there?
has a specific, feeling when he does it with the turkey. He prefers that over anything else.
Do I have to actually sit here and explain to you why that's strange? Why that's wrong?
I mean, I know why it's wrong, but the whole point
Because
here
you
is
can't procreate?
that's one of the reasons why it's wrong.
Okay,
Yes.
name one other reason other than you can't procreate with it.
That is, it's not a act that is ordered towards the unitive aspect of the marital act, which
Okay,
is.
and name one other reason other than that, other than like,
I mean, why do I have to keep naming all the reasons? There could be.
because you want me to come.
I want you to name one.
No, I did that. The intentions of the human, something has to be like strange there.
So just because it's strange, it's just like it's wrong.
Like no, there has to be something like you have to look into that. Like you have to be concerned about that.
But
There
I
has to
told you
be
the
at least
intention
concern in
is
there.
for him to just feel pleasure.
By
Which
fucking a
that
dead
intention
turkey?
by itself, you can't say that intention is wrong.
By fucking a dead turkey? Dude, what are you talking about? Do I have to actually sit here like what?
I mean, you sound shocked because you know it's obviously wrong, but you can't explain to us what makes it wrong.
I'm concerned about like the brain of the human here. Like I'm really off. Like everybody in the chat is confused about what you're talking about here, bro.
Well, they have the same reasoning that we do. So we have a reason. You just don't.
You keep saying that, but I'm telling you that the intentions of the humans matter in this case.
Yeah, but I gave you the intention, so give
The
it.
feeling pleasure.
So you're
why
saying
would you
it's
need to
wrong
feel
to seek pleasure?
I mean, technically you are too by saying it's wrong to seek pleasure from.
I'm saying it's wrong to seek that pleasure outside of marriage. Do you agree with that?
No. To seek sexual pleasure
so-
outside of marriage, why would that be
So
wrong?
we're not saying
Other
the same
than-
thing then.
So you think that like I'm like completely lost. You think that pleasuring yourself on a dead turkey is the same as like having sex between two unmarried people?
I think, as I said earlier, I'm not saying that
They're both destructive to your soul.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're the same level of evil. I'm saying that they're wrong for the same reason.
Which one you think's more evil between like two guys and then a turkey?
The turkey. I don't think it's like necessarily evil. I just think like I'm questioning the intentions of the
I was more so asking dog dude down there.
Oh my bad.
I don't know who Dog Dude is, but who does Dog Dude y'all keep talking about?
That's you.
Oh. Which one is more wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
You really?
Yeah, I mean, friend, you don't even know why it's wrong in the first place.
Sure, I keep telling you that the intentions of the humans I haven't questioned. I mean the
But
intentions of the
I
humans
understand
haven't
you say
questioned.
the intentions matter, but I gave you the intentions in this context, which is just
Okay, so
to-
from my subjective standpoint, I think that's wrong.
the intentions of the human.
The intentions of the human, like having sex with a dead animal.
Is there a reason why you think that?
Why I think that personally?
Why you think it's wrong?
Because I see animals as being like kind of like
I mean,
unknowing.
it's not an animal anymore. It's
Okay,
dead.
sure, it's dead. So
Just a ball of meat, really. Like a wet, cold sack of meat.
okay,
I mean, yeah, you should think about stuff like that.
I should think about people having sex with dead animals.
No, like, it's like what makes this wrong. And for example, if it's the case that it's wrong because it goes against the purpose for the sexual act in the first place, then that means anything that goes against the purpose for sex is
I
wrong.
didn't say that there's a purpose. Like I'm just.
I know, I'm not saying you said that, but I'm saying if that's the case.
If what's the case that there's a end goal to sex.
If it's the case that the reason why it's wrong to do that to the dead turkey is because of the fact that there is supposed to be a specific purpose for the action that it
Being
is not
procreation.
intended.
Being
Yes.
procreation. So anything that has an end goal of something other than God intended is wrong.
Well, yes, if God intended for something to have a specific end goal and then your intention is other than that, then it would be wrong. But I think you can figure out the purpose for actions without God having to tell you that that's the purpose. Like you can just look at nature and know that sex is for procreation.
Okay, but people have kind of interpreted it in a different way now.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue.
You think that's the issue? That people like two guys have sex with each other?
I mean, I do think it is a issue.
Is that detrimental to our society? Is that gonna kill us all one day?
It will, yeah.
Will it really?
I mean, not
straight
me,
people would
because
just
I'm not
stop.
doing it.
Straight people would
But,
just
like-
stop having sex with each other and no kids will be born?
No, I'm saying that they're gonna go to hell if they keep doing it. That's the issue.
So they're gonna go to hell for having sex with each other. For men having sex with men.
Yeah.
Does anybody that has sex outside of marriage go into hell?
If they don't repent, if they continue to do it and die doing it, yes, they will go to hell.
That's interesting.
Real
So,
consistent.
I mean, yeah, I just think I just think that it's harmful to push these ideas onto people.
I think going to hell is more harmful.
You don't think going to heaven and losing yourself is also harmful, losing your free will?
I think you find yourself.
You don't lose your free will. You
Yeah,
obtain the maximum free will because free will is choice of goods. So you have the maximum
free will
choice
is
of that.
choice of goods.
Yeah.
It's not choice of evil.
Heck no.
So what's with the evil there? I'm lost.
When you do evil, you destroy your nature, so therefore you're taking away your ability of free will. So you become more and more a slave. That's why he calls you a slave to sin.
So people doing evil is not the result of free will.
Not in the proper sense of the word free will, in the freest sense of it. If you're just talking about in general to be able to express your
So the proper sense of free will is to do good.
correct.
So why does evil exist exactly? Because of free will?
Well, people can choose to do bad.
But that's not free will, right?
That's not a proper
improper use of it.
Of the word free will.
Who gave us that kind of free will?
What do you mean?
That kind of free will.
Like, now there's two different kinds of free will. There's proper free will and there's improper free will. Who gave us
it's just the
improper
use
free
of
will?
it.
So who gave us the ability to have improper use of free will?
I mean, it's not a given thing. It's just because we're not perfect. So therefore we have to make decisions and we're freely thinking agents.
So why would God give us the ability to make decisions based on evil?
Because
That's
that
what
way you're
improper
able
free
to
will.
actually merit things.
So, but in heaven, you have the perfect free will, right? So why couldn't God
But
just
you don't
implement
merit
this
things
on
in
Earth?
heaven.
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
You merit you earn rewards. You become deserving of rewards when you're here on earth, not when you go to heaven.
But my question is, why couldn't God insert this proper free will into us on Earth if He can do it in heaven?
I mean, what could you say? Because God desired that earth contain a notion of merit.
And also,
Rewarding.
So if we take away that merit in heaven, what's desirable about that? You're losing a part of yourself. You're losing that improper.
No,
free will
you're
of flesh.
literally in heaven. You're attached to the infinite source of goodness, which is God.
But was that you on Earth? Was that you on Earth as a person?
No.
So why would you want to lose yourself as a person in heaven? That sounds desirable to you?
That's like saying to a person with no legs and no arms, why would you want to gain arms and legs? Because you're going to be different now. Or a person who's
No,
paralyzed,
not
why would you
really.
want to be able to walk
I mean,
again?
from our perspective, it is because
literally
this
that.
desire to sin is a deficiency. It's not something that should be desirable.
And anything that you want has some sort of good in it. Anything you want to do has
Happy
something.
with are you not happy with who you are on Earth?
I'm happy with the good that I have. I'm not happy with the wrong that's
Like I could be happy, but that means I could still be happier, and that doesn't mean that like even if I'm sad that I can't be happy. Like
So what on Earth gives you happiness that you won't have in heaven? Is there anything on Earth that gives you happiness that you
all
won't have in
goodness comes from God. So whatever
heaven?
we
What about goodness that exists outside of God? Like some people are
there
happy.
is no such thing as goodness outside of God.
Some people are happy and feel good in homosexual relationships.
Well, the good that they feel, well, that's going to get technical. So they have a goodness in those acts, but it's improperly ordered. So therefore, it's not going to do any benefit to them. It's actually going to do destruction. So anytime you do something, it's because of something good in those things that you want to obtain, like pleasure, right? But pleasure improperly ordered or goodness improperly ordered is going to give you bad things, like wanting, there's a goodness in wanting to, eat, right? Because we're going to benefit from that. But if you overeat, you end up being fat and then you become a glutton. If you misorder this goodness, then you're going to be, doing something. It's good that you want to work for your keep, right? But if you love money too much, then that's another thing. It's wrong. It's good to love yourself. However, if you love yourself too much, that's pride, and then it ends up being bad. So like St. Augustine talks about this in his City of God, I think book 13. Like you can have a misordered sense of what's supposed to be good. So the whole point is that you do a goodness that's in alignment with God.
But if being with somebody of the same sex makes somebody happy, that's
They're
it's disordered.
deceiving.
It's just one
Yeah,
person
they're
deceiving
deceiving.
themselves.
Mhm. The same way that I could see the finest girl possible and want to have like sex with her, that's just going to be an improper action. Like the only proper end to that would be for us to get married, and then we do those actions, because that's going to be the proper way that we're supposed to be ordered to bring more goodness, i.e. a kid, or to bring each other closer to God, which would be the end goal of marriage, i.e. for us both to be saints. So there's order to everything.
See, this is the thing that confuses me about Christians. Like, what about this sounds freeing to y'all? Like, what about like taking things away that makes you feel good about yourself, or that makes you feel happy on earth, or that makes you feel happy with yourself? Like, what about taking those away to serve some God that you can't see, that you can't hear, that you only like kind of tell yourself that you feel? Like, what about that is like I understand it because I used to be a Christian, so I do get it. But at the same time, that kind of mindset was extremely detrimental to me.
Yeah, so every single thing that's good has to come from the source of goodness, which is God. He's the infinite source of goodness. Now, every single thing that we see in those bad actions that we may view as good is in chase of the true goodness, which is going to be God. So when people are misordered, they're looking at this thing thinking that that's the goodness that they want, when the true goodness that they want is actually God. But they never actually arrange themselves towards getting that thing. So one of our church fathers, St. Gregory of Nyssa, says it's like a dog that has a bone in his mouth, and he has the goodness of having a bone in his mouth, and he walks over to a pond, and he looks at the pond, and he sees his reflection. He sees another bone, and he gets greedy, and he wants that bone, and he thinks that it's good for him to let go of the bone that he has to pick up the other one. And when he lets go of the bone, he splashes it in the water, and then he can't get the bone anymore. So he deceived himself into thinking that this imitation of the goodness is something that he actually desires, when in fact it can't grant you anything, because it's not the true goodness, i.e. God. So when we see these things that are perishable, we see a sort of goodness in them, but a properly ordered Christian or a properly ordered person is going to understand that the true goodness is going to be in so much as it reflects God. So therefore, like when we have things of like beauty, or you think of a female or whatever, the reason that we like those things about those females, or about a female or your husband or whatever, is because they have some sort of goodness in them. They are charitable. They care about you. They care for you when you're sick. They have some sort of goodness in them. However, we love them because they are a reflection of the true goodness, which is God. So when you put God first in that relationship, then it's going to be properly ordered, because the true source of goodness is going to unite you with your husband, wife, spouse, etc. in a proper order of union, and not the other way around, where you're looking at perishable imitations instead of the true thing, which is God.
Facts.
No, I just see to me that is insane. Like kind of putting, like trying to draw your goodness, or trying to draw.
We can prove it from logic, like actually, like literally using logical arguments. We can prove that that's the case.
Well, let's do it.
Okay, so
There's a lot of
do you want an argument for God's existence, or what do you want?
I mean, either, like whatever you prefer, man.
All right.
There's an argument for God's existence.
I wonder which one you want to do. Motion, Abe, or should we do Dante, or what?
Bro, you just do motion, bro. Why are we even this?
All right, just do motion. Nah, you do motion, Abe, or you want me to do it? It's whatever.
So this is an argument called the argument for motion. It's basically one of the most mainly used arguments. Like the main argument used by all the classical philosophers, all the ancient philosophers, medieval philosophers. And you can find a lot of good videos on it online. So if you're not able to like fully understand it by the end of this discussion, there's a lot of good explanations online.
Okay.
Basically, by motion, all we mean is change. So when something becomes something else, right? And to break that down even more, it's when a potential goes from being potential to being actual. So, for example, a cup of a coffee has the potential to become hot. Once it actually becomes hot, by, I don't know, putting it in the microwave or something, then that's what we consider change. It's that movement from potential to actual. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Right. And right, so things have potentials to be different. So Jordan has the potential to get married, or maybe he doesn't, but we don't. But let's just assume he does. A cup has the potential to be cold, or a wood has the potential to burn, right? And whenever these potentials become actuals, like actual things in reality, then we say change has occurred. So now when it comes to the argument for motion, we're looking at a specific kind of change, right? We're looking at what's called a essentially ordered series. So an essentially ordered series is basically when you have one thing changing another thing, that thing being changed by another thing, and that thing being changed by another, so on and so forth. But it's all at the same time. So to give it an opposing example, you could say that, my mom gave birth to me, and then her mom gave birth to her, and then her mom gave birth to her. These are changes, but they happen one after the other, right? They don't all happen at the same time. This is called an accidentally ordered series. But what we're talking about is essentially ordered series. So imagine like a chandelier being held up by a link of chains. Each link is being held up by the link before it and the link before it, all at the same time. Okay? So now the argument is going to be that this kind of change, the essentially ordered series, it can't go on to an infinite regress. It has to terminate in what's called a first mover, basically the first thing in that series. And this first thing is going to be unmoved itself. So this thing is going to be basically the source of change for the entire rest of the series. So it's called a unmoved mover because it changes other things, yet it itself is not changed.
Like the uncaused causer.
Yeah,
So why does that have to be a god? Why can't that just be the universe itself?
cool. So let's start by defining God, and then we'll inquire on whether this thing is a God. So by God, we can just say the term that the Catholic Church uses for God when speaking of these arguments is basically a being that is pure actuality. So you remember how we were speaking of potential and actual earlier?
Yeah.
God for Catholics and for most Christians basically is going to be a being that is pure actuality. So it's a being that has absolutely no potential to change whatsoever. Now, the universe can't be that being because of the fact that we know the universe is constantly undergoing change. So the universe has
Okay, but
potential.
wait, hold on. Why does there need to be something that cannot be changed? Why does that need to be a thing?
Okay. So
Because the mover thing, you remember how he said that?
No,
that
I know that, but why does something that can't be changed need to exist? Why
because,
does that need to exist?
because then it has to account for the change. Because the unmoved thing means it's unchanged, like it cannot change. If it can change, that means it has the potential to be that way. That means it has the potential to be actualized by something else. So when you think of the chandelier, each link in the chandelier has power to hold up the chandelier in as much as it could possibly get it from the thing above it. However, if it's never attached to a ceiling because we have an infinitely long chain that's never attached to something that's unmoving, then the chandelier is going to fall. It's never going to be held up. It's never going to be suspended because there's not going to be a thing that all the change stops at.
Okay, but why can't this just be the universe itself? Because there are concepts in the universe that haven't changed for billions of years, like gravity, the speed of light, stuff like that.
So gravity is going to be also something that's going to have to do with material and time. So
Yeah, why can't that just be like? Why does it have to exist outside of these things?
because
These
time
things
is
haven't changed for billions of years.
yeah, time is a measurement of change, and gravity is going to be something that's material. So it's going to be like composite of something called form and matter. So with things that are composite, they're made up of two different things. So they have the
So
potential
you
for their
need something
parts.
that isn't made up of anything.
Yeah, it's not made up of
Why?
different parts. It has to be
But why?
be,
Because they're because it can't change, but these things haven't changed for billions of
The
years.
parts have the potential to be the whole.
Yeah, gravity. I mean, there are things that haven't changed for billions of years in this universe. Speed of light, gravity, the four fundamental like forces of the universe. These things haven't changed.
So are they in space, time, and matter?
Yeah, they are.
So if it's in
Which
time,
also hasn't changed.
if it's in time,
You
then
can't destroy gravity. You can't destroy matter. You can't destroy energy.
yeah. But if
or
it's in
heat.
time, there's a measurement of change that's going to be occurring there.
I mean, no, not really. Like, what do you mean?
Time is
If
just
it's
a
in time.
measurement of change, just by definition.
Yeah,
what
but
it
some
is.
things don't change within the measurement of time. Like
They-
space time is literally time. Does time change within the measurement of time?
Time is the measurement of change.
I know. But so can time change? Why can't time just be this
Because
uncaused?
time is
Why
also
can't time be this unchanging change? Why
time.
can't space be this unchanging
Well,
change?
time is also affected by things. So if it's affected by things, that means it's moved. So time is
That is true.
affected by gravity and different things like that. So it would still be, wouldn't be the case where that could be it.
So you don't think God is affected by things?
No.
You don't think he can be changed?
No. He affects all things. He cannot be affected.
Didn't God change at some point in the Bible from the Old Testament to the New Testament? Isn't there a difference between the Old Testament God and the New Testament God?
It's the same God.
not.
It's just our view of him that is what changes. So, whenever it says like, oh yeah, he changed his mind or this, that, and the third happens, that's just our view of him. Or where it says, oh, where he hates or he has wrath or something. That's just how we experience the unchanging God or the unchanging love of God. For instance, if you go to parties every week and someone gets shot at those parties every week because it's a leave the beef at home party and nobody ever leaves the beef at home, right?
Oh my days.
When your parents say, look, next week you're not going out. Now, depending on your disposition, you're going to be like, all right, my mom loves me. She doesn't want me to get shot.
Okay, wait, hold on. So, but the only thing that we have of God is our interpretation of him, right? So how can we say that God hasn't changed? Even like our interpretation of God has changed, correct? How do we know that God himself hasn't changed if all we're relying on is our interpretation of God?
Because it's not an interpretation that we're relying on when it comes to the argumentation for God's existence. It's going to be a logical
I know, but
argument.
God's existence is completely arbitrary to what the Christian God is. God can still a God can exist, and it doesn't have to be the Christian or Catholic or Muslim God or whatever.
Yeah, but that God has specific properties, and one of those properties that it can't change because it's the unmoved mover.
Okay, but so why is our interpretation of this God changed? If our interpretation is the only thing that we can rely on, how do we know this God hasn't changed?
By logic. Like logic is
No, that's not
an
logical at all.
interpretation.
Yeah, no, that's not logical.
Being an unmoved mover by the definitions
No,
of the argument.
No, I mean like if the only thing that we're relying on is our interpretation of God, and that has changed throughout the years, how do we know that God himself hasn't changed? Or
It's not an interpretation. It's being based off of like logical
said it was.
inferences.
Logical inferences that we draw from the God that doesn't change, but our interpretation of him does?
No.
The conclusion that God doesn't change is derived from facts that we know are certain. So it's that they
Right.
can't change.
What facts that we know are certain?
That change exists. That everything that changes needs something outside of it to change it. This can't go on for infinity. Therefore, there has to be something that's the unchanged changer. That's
But like, why can't things just change infinitely? Just because it's hard for us to grasp doesn't mean
no,
it
it's
can't.
not. It's literally like impossible. So, for instance, if you have so one of the ways that you can explain logic is in like sentence format, right? Because like words can map onto like sentences, right? So if you have an infinite run-on sentence, there's never a complete statement. And if there's never a complete statement, then
I understand that, but the universe isn't a sentence. Like it's things that are way beyond our understanding.
it can be
Trying to apply
it can
our
be
human
explained
understanding to
in
something that can be completely infinite. Whether it is or isn't, it's something that science can't really explain. It's something that science doesn't really try to. It just tries to experiment with things that exist within the finite things that we experience.
when you explain the universe, are you using sentences?
Yes, but those are human constructs. The
Do they?
universe doesn't
Does
care
it
about
map?
human
Does it
constructs.
map onto reality though?
Yeah, sure, but the
Okay,
universe doesn't care about our human
I get
experiences.
that,
Right? It doesn't care
but
about
the
our
sentences
human
themselves can
constructs.
map onto reality. It's just like a math equation. So when you have a statement, it has to be a complete statement in order for you to have a complete cause of something.
I know, but the universe doesn't exist within our human understanding.
That has
The
nothing to
universe
do
is
with the
something different.
universe. I'm just saying
Yes,
about
it
the.
does.
I'm talking about the unmoved mover. The universe changes. We already established that. So if it changes, it has to be changed by something else.
No, but why? Why can't things just change infinitely? Like you keep saying, like
I was trying to explain. So if we put it in a statement, right?
Okay, so
You have an infinite statement. It's never a closed, finished statement. So if there's never a finished statement, you never have a cause in the first place because it's unfinished. So if you don't have a cause, you don't have a change. But since we have a change, that therefore entails that we have a cause.
how? But like we need because things change. Okay, listen, I understand that cause and effect. So because things change, we need a cause. But like, why can't the uncaused cause just be the universe itself? Why can't the unchanged change? Or how do we know that the universe, like in all of its entirety, hasn't changed? Because you can't create or destroy matter. That definitely hasn't changed. You can't create or destroy energy. That
Matter
definitely
still
hasn't changed.
changes.
So what do you mean? What'd you say?
Even if you can't, even if it was the case that you can't create or destroy matter
It is the case.
or energy, sorry, energy undergoes changes.
So what? It's still the same amount of energy that's always existed.
I mean, that's the whole point. That if it's
also composed. That's the other
first
thing.
mover.
So why can't energy just be the first mover? The total amount of energy has never changed.
But
Because
the energy
energy is
itself
first
changes.
No, I'm
Even
aware
if
of
it
that,
doesn't
but-
change in this way, it's still changing in that way.
but it's always been here. Matter has always been here.
The universe can always exist, and this argument still works.
It really, I mean, not really.
Yeah,
the
because if
universe-
something changes, that just means that something moves it.
Yeah, that that it has a potential that is becoming
so there can
actual.
just be an unchanged change, and it can be a god. Why does it have to be a god? And definitely, why does it have to be your god?
The unchanged changer means that it cannot change because there's nothing that is lacking to make it move to something different.
There's no potential in it. So that means it's pure actuality, which is what the philosophers mean when they say God.
That
But
means
why
it's
does it have to be a intelligent god? Why can't it just be like, I don't know, like a space dust? Why can't it just be like a thing?
so why it has to be intelligent is
Why
because
does it?
whatever's in the effect must be in the cause in some way, shape, or form.
So this intelligence just wasn't caused by anything. It's just intelligence that has always existed.
Well, it's pure actuality. So yeah, it's not being caused.
This
by
is more believable to you than just the universe that always.
This is a logical deduction.
This is not a logical deduction.
Which logical step is incorrect?
It's saying that intelligence doesn't need to be caused by anything.
I'm literally going
No,
to
we're not saying-
explain how this intelligence, how this thing that doesn't move, that doesn't change, is intelligent. That's perfect. Is intelligent.
It's intelligent because it doesn't change.
Why I'm going to give you the argument as to why that has to be the
Okay,
case.
yeah, go ahead.
So whatever's in the effect must be in the cause. Okay. So for instance, if I draw a rainbow, the only reason I can draw a rainbow is because I had the colors to do so in the first place, right?
Okay.
Or you had the concept of a rainbow.
Yeah, at least something.
In your head or something.
In some way, shape, or form. Now, this thing that's purely actual, it's going to be the cause of all these things, is going to be the cause of the changes in these things. Therefore, whenever you have forms or patterns or something that exist, they exist in some way. They're not going to exist in like some material way, because this thing is going to be immaterial, first of all. It has to exist in an abstract manner, which is going to be something related to a mind. That's just going to be intellect.
Why does that have to be related to a mind?
Because whenever you have a concept of something or a form of something in your head and you don't change into that thing, because basically a form is something that that shapes matter, right? So this water bottle has a specific form, right? It has this form and can only have this form because it's material. However, we as intelligent beings can have these forms in us without us changing, because we can make different shapes, we can do different things, we can shape other things into different things. We have different concepts of all these different things. So in order for all of these forms to be contained, which actually exist, it entails that this thing must be immaterial in the first place. Well, we already know it's immaterial, but it must contain all these different forms. And something that contains all these different forms is what we basically call an intellect, because it's something that's called an intelligible species. The way that we know things.
Hold on. My problem here is like you guys are attaching human intelligence and human concepts to something like the universe or like an uncaused causer that may be beyond what humanity even is.
Well, we're just saying that it's like it's an essential characteristic or power of intelligence.
Intelligence is an essential characteristic.
No. I'm saying that
According-
no. I'm saying that it's the power of the intellect of intelligence to possess the form of something in an immaterial way without actually becoming that form.
Yes, according to humans. We're trying to attach
Cool.
human.
Okay, cool.
these
So
human
if God had that same, or if the purely actual being had that same power, then he would have intellect in that sense.
A human understanding of intellect. Like we're trying to attach human things, like human intellectual things, to things that exist
I
beyond
mean,
what we.
so when you
grasp as
asked how do
humans.
we know God is intelligent, what did you mean by intelligence there?
Like intelligent, like why does this unchanged changer need to have intelligence? Why can't it just be like just one thing that
Okay,
just
and
happened? That just happened to happen.
and intelligence, we're explaining to you what intelligence is possessing the form of multiple things in an immaterial way without actually becoming that form.
So why does that have to be, and why does it have to relate to our unchanged changer?
Because if we have intelligence and we have the ability of intelligence, it had to come from something in the first place, which would be that thing which caused all things, which would be the uncaused cause. So we'd have it at a higher degree, because everything that's in
Intelligence is caused by our intelligent creator. We have intelligence because of that.
well, if anything that's in the effect had to be in the cause in some way, shape, or form. You're not going to just have an effect and it wasn't in the cause.
No, I know that, but
So we have the effect of intelligence.
because of
It had to be in the cause.
it had to be an evolution.
Even if you want
Cause of that.
to say that God would have had to done the evolution, it's unmoved over.
Oh no, he wouldn't have, because
Because it would have been the change. Is evolution a change?
evolution is the change. Yes.
Oh, okay. So if it's the change, then it had to be from the unchanged changer.
No, it didn't. Evolution was so okay, bro.
That's literally the argument. All things that change have to find their source back in the thing that's unchanging. That's literally the argument. That's why it doesn't matter what you say after that. It's going to apply to every single thing that you believe.
But it doesn't have to be your Christian God, though. It doesn't have to be a God at all, first of all, and it definitely doesn't have to be the Christian God.
We're explaining why it has to be a God.
Okay, but why the Christian God?
We can get to that after you understand that this thing is intelligent.
Okay.
And it's not some rock.
Let's just say I agree with that, bro.
All right.
Why does it have to be the Christian God?
Now we can look at what's called divine revelation, right? Now, divine revelation makes claims historically, and we see those claims actually happen historically. Like that some random Jewish dude was going to come down at a certain time period, call himself the Messiah. He's going to die, and everybody's going to think he resurrected, and everybody, even who isn't a Jew, is going to start following him. People from all different nations are going to follow this random, obscure Hebrew Jewish deity. And we see these things written hundreds of years before it happened. It tells you the exact same way that this person is supposed to die in a method that did not exist at the time. And these things actually happen, and people claim they happen. Not only that, we have miracle claims from this religion that are scientifically backed and explained, saying that this is 100% a miracle and cannot be explained by science because it goes against science. We have witness testimony of all these things, and it all relates to exactly what this specific divine revelation and what these teachings of this church say are going to happen. So what would be the proper way that our logic would tend us to believe that something is supposed to be that we are supposed to follow? It's going to be that this Christianity, this Jesus who died and resurrected, who taught the Trinity, who gave a church, who through his church teaches about the Trinity and all this different stuff, that we're supposed to worship God, and this God is a Trinitarian deity, and this dude just literally everybody saw him get tortured on the stick, and then he came back like nothing happened. And we still see miracles happening to this day that are documented to this day. Then that's the reason why we're saying that it's the Christian God specifically.
So what about other religions that make those same claims?
Well, it depends on which ones. So for the death, burial, and resurrection, they don't have that. For sure they don't have that, because we actually have documentation of that stuff. For like Eucharistic miracles and stuff, where we have literal where we literally have bread and wine turning into actual like heart tissue and blood, that was tested by multiple doctors, like in different types of scientists, all different types of things like that. We have extensive evidence of that. We have extensive evidence of testimony that people saw Mary and there was mass conversions and different things like that. Like, we have all of this stuff. Like, that would get way too long into explaining, but I can give you sources for that you can look into.
I'll have to look into it because I've never really looked into the historical aspect of it. I've been more interested in the kind of scientific aspect of it.
So which one of those things did you want to see, though? Like, so I can tell you what source to look at.
No, I mean, you can point me to any source.
Matter of fact, do you have Discord?
No.
Oh, Lord.
I could send you a link to a podcast that goes into the scientific documentation of
if you'd like to.
Yeah, of the miracles. And then we have like different books on like the resurrection, like the case for the resurrection by people like Gary Habermas and Mike Licona. And you can see stuff like that.
So do other religions just not have these things?
No, they don't. That's
So
the
you
point.
don't think that Christianity being the most widespread religion doesn't have anything to do with this? One of the most widespread religions? One of the most defended religions doesn't have anything to do with this?
Well, we believe it's one of the most widespread because God wants people to
Well,
come
I
to the
believe it's
truth.
most widespread because colonizers kind of went around the world and decided that it was going to be widespread.
I mean, that's not necessarily the case. Like a lot of Hispanic,
spread way before colonization.
yeah, like a lot of
I'm aware of that, but I think that it is the way it is.
a lot of the Hispanics, like
Said about Islam though, for sure.
yeah, like a lot of
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Baby.
most of the reason why people like in like South America and everything are Catholics is because they saw an apparition of Mary. I'm pretty sure that's what is that? Abe, you're a resident Mexican. Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah.
No, I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, it led to 10 million conversions. There's I'm gonna send you the link to it on TikTok. It's a podcast to a 5-hour it's a 5-hour podcast because they actually go through like all the documents and all the testimonies of miracles in the Catholic Church that are like scientifically proven.
Well, I can show you guys how to like get to that as well. So if you go to YouTube, God dang, Light. Why Light got 400 people watching him, bro?
Hey man, let's get that light raid. Hey, y'all go over there and tell him to send that raid.
Hey, hold on, not yet. Y'all got to see the source. Good gracious. So it's gonna be this one. It's going to be 5 hours investigating, and it's by Matt Fradd. It's going to be 5 hours investigating the strongest miracle evidence for Catholicism. And he goes through a whole bunch of different things. This is one that Abe is specifically talking about.
I'll look into it if I have time.
That's one of them. And then we had like a lot of other sources for stuff too. And then Abe can probably send you like the names of like different books and stuff like that.
Yeah, you really even if like you want to watch the video like while you're driving somewhere, I always tell people like it's an interesting podcast, regardless of whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I just think it's interesting for different reasons that y'all might think it's interesting.
You think it's interesting because the colonizers?
I think it's interesting just because I think religion is an interesting phenomenon in humanity.
Yeah, you should watch that. They also reference books published on the topic with the testimonies and the scientific documents contained in them. Basically, and honestly, if any one of these are true, then the Christian God is real. Basically.
What makes you say that?
It only takes one to be right.
Why?
Because in the miracle is confirming Christianity. And basically supposing that, remember, like you said, well, let's just assume that we agree that God exists, right? Then we know God is a God of truth, that God is all-knowing, etc., all these other things. So then he wouldn't confirm something that's false.
I mean, maybe that interpretation of God. I'm talking about a God in general being real. Like, a God in general may be real, but why does it have to be like all-knowing, all-loving, all this kind of stuff? Is that what the evidence that y'all are giving me?
That's the pure act argument because it lacks nothing. It can't change. It has perfect.
Yeah, I can send you stuff on that too, because it just requires a lot of background knowledge in order to fully comprehend it.
I can see that.
Benjamin's out here crashing out because we're talking about miracle claims in the church. It's okay, Benjamin. You gotta be Catholic, bro. It's okay. But yeah, basically, if the miracle is like, if a man prayed and said, God, if you're real, then grow my leg back because he's an amputee and his leg grows back, then I mean, that's pretty good proof that God is real.
That happened.
I mean, technically speaking, it actually that did happen. I think.
I really don't believe that happened.
No, like
I mean,
doctor.
I was not referring to any specific event.
I think that one actually did happen at one of the Marian apparition sites.
Some dude's leg just grew back magically.
I mean, was
that leg or what was it?
I know of one where the man was in a train accident.
Yeah, but was that his leg though? What grew back?
He was paralyzed and he couldn't eat except through a tube. And then at the Catholic consecration, he stood up and he was able to eat normally. And he went to the doctors and they all confirmed that they don't know what the hell happened. And that he had these injuries.
Yeah, after he visited the site of a Marian apparition.
Yeah.
He was healed on that day.
And also, there's kids who are claiming to see Mary, and Mary's gonna perform a public sign for everyone to believe. Exactly 6 months from that day, and then 6 months from that day in Fatima, Portugal, which is where the kids were. The kids say, "Look up at the sky," and then 30 to 100,000 people claim to witness the sun dance in the sky and change colors. And it's literally recorded in news articles the very next day.
Okay. It can probably be explained by some sort of scientific thing going on.
Yeah, I mean they address scientific explanations in the video. So you go into that. You'll literally find atheists on this app. I've seen it myself, where they'll say that what happened there was that the kids just got lucky, and there was some astronomical event that happened on the exact day that they said would happen 6 months earlier, and that
I'd have to look into that.
the kids just got lucky.
Won't take it at face value.
Don't.
Okay. Go off.
Don't.
I swear he is singing. All right. Well, appreciate you for coming up.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. God bless. Don't. Yes, and he keep on playing games. Take the same. No, no, let the same ain't fun. When the same, you will find everything. Everything.
Hey.
You don't live enough in this one.
Hey, I need you back with me, ASAP.
ASAP. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have a page tomorrow if YT see that junk. But maybe one more.
Not a bad combo, except for A being overly specific or something like that. All right.
Boy had details. He said cold, wet, moist, deep, dead, feathery, but not too many feathers. Hello.
Feathery is crazy.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm fine. So you want me to give you a good reason not to be a Christian?
Mm-hmm. Bro, you had a long time to think about it too, bro. Like we've been out here talking for a minute.
Yeah, I did. I would say slavery. And I would say that as a black person, seeing black people like buying into this stuff just like blows my mind.
Oh, which part of Christianity says you're allowed to enslave a certain race because they're black?
Well, that part of the Bible which says your people are allowed to own other people, led other people to think it was okay. So you understand what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot of people that have incorrect beliefs based off of something they were led to believe. Doesn't mean that that is actually the case.
What they were led to believe?
Yeah, and by saying led to believe doesn't mean... Yeah, there was a context to that, which is supposed to be explained by the church and also the tribes of Israel. So people
what was the context to that?
Indentured servitude was one of them. Prison was another one. And we still have that type of slavery to this day, and especially in prison.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we do. We do not condone it, even though there is.
I do condone prison. I do condone prison. Some people just need to be locked up.
That slavery, as described in the Bible, was like prison.
No, some of it was indentured servitude.
That's some of it, right? How about the other part, which was slavery, which was like owning someone, which the Bible permitted?
Oh, like the Egyptians, like the one that God freed the Israelites from? Yeah, we don't mess with that kind of slavery.
Yeah, that is a kind of slavery, right? Because he freed them, and then immediately after that, he was telling them explicitly how to own each other.
Wow, he put rules in place in a lawless society where they could just do whatever they wanted to before.
Well, instructing people on how to own other people as property is not just giving instructions how to put people in line. That is instructing people how to be cruel to each other.
That is not instructing how to be cruel. It's instructing them how to manage their society that they're in, so that it's not chaos and destruction.
So when God says, you may buy slaves from people around you, what if the president right now says, you may buy slaves from Mexico? Do you think that is putting people in line, or that is inciting cruelty?
It's gonna depend on what they mean, obviously.
We all know what it means to buy, and we all know
Not an
what it
argument.
means, what slaves mean,
You realize
right?
that's a fallacy?
What do you mean?
You simply saying we all know what it means doesn't mean that's true.
Oh, are you saying we don't know what it means to buy something?
No.
So if I go,
your claim?
If I go and buy a bunch of like child slaves from like some tribe, and then like I raise them like my kids, and then they become doctors and stuff, did I do something wicked or evil?
Yeah, bro. You bought them.
That is an easy way to put it, and that is a very nice way to.
It's just a yes or no, bro.
But
You
that
see
is
how
not
it's-
what
You bought them.
you
bro. How
asked me
dare
a
you?
question, right?
How
But
dare you,
if
bud.
you have to take the act and then you code it, you sugarcoat it, and
How is that
say
sugarcoating, bro?
make them become a doctor. That is not stating the facts as they are in the Bible.
What are the
Bro,
facts?
he's given.
Okay,
You. Is it always evil to buy someone? Yes or no?
it is not. It might not always be evil to buy someone.
Nice, perfect. So
You
that's
could
one
see
aspect
someone
of slavery
suffering.
that's not always
You
evil.
could see someone suffering, and maybe you buy them to save them from the situation. But what you guys are doing is just like avoiding exactly what
No,
was
we're
happening.
attacking the principle itself because you guys will, like you just said, if the president says, "Well, it's okay to buy people," you try to put forth this principle that buying people is in principle wrong, intrinsically immoral. So all he did was give a counterexample that you conceded is not immoral, which proves it
Okay.
false that it's not immoral to buy someone.
Okay, let us get back to the context in the Bible. So the Bible says that the Israelites could buy people from outside their tribes, right? And they could they could own them as property, and they could pass them on to their children because they are their property. They are these words that they use in the Bible, okay? So when you say you could buy someone and you start painting a picture of how you could buy someone and make him a doctor, that was not the case. You were not paid a salary. You were barely given food so you could, you could survive enough to work. That is how slavery.
What verse did you get that from?
What do you mean?
Where did you get that from? I starve them so that they could barely do stuff. Like, where'd you get that from?
Do you know what slavery is?
See, that's what I mean. You're already
Do
presupposing stuff.
you know what slavery is, brother? There's different types of slavery historically and in different regions, brother. So I don't know what the freak you talking about.
Okay. So do you know what slavery was in the near Middle East? Do you know what slavery was?
When? And what
In
period?
that period? In the
You're
period
just
of the setting of the
you're
Bible.
assuming what it was. You're not proving it from the Bible.
I don't understand. Do you guys read the Bible?
Where does it tell you what the period was?
To starve them.
No. I'm asking because you guys are acting like you don't understand how.
Brother, you're acting like it's just automatically like, oh, we starve them to death, we chop their limbs off.
Torture
Like,
them, yeah.
Okay,
You
let's
force them
remove
to
the
work with
starving.
no benefit.
So, are you saying that owning other people as property and passing them on to your children is okay? Is that
Depends what
morally okay?
means. Depends what you mean by owning them as property.
So, are you saying that What do you mean you don't understand what it means by owning? I think you're avoiding the
I never
problem
said I
here.
don't understand. I said it
You
depends
don't
what someone
understand what it
means.
means to own something and pass it.
Bro, Mozzie, come get your cousin, bro.
I don't get it.
I never
Like,
said I don't
do you
understand.
guys
I
read the
said
Bible? That's my
depends on
question
what it
now.
means. Depends on what it means.
So
You're
you did you
assuming that it means that you have to kick them while they're asleep, and you have to, spit on them. You have to do all these wicked things. But where does it say that this is entailed?
the Bible actually says you could beat slaves. Do you know that?
Yeah, and I believe you
That
can
as
hit your
long
kids
that as
also.
long as they don't die within 3 days, which means if they can die after 3 days, it is okay. Do you know that?
No, it doesn't say it's okay.
Okay. Do you want me to read the verse?
It's
Yeah,
not
if it
gonna
doesn't
say
say
it's
it's
okay,
okay,
bro.
then you're wrong.
I said it's okay as long as they die
No, it doesn't
within,
say.
they
What do
don't
you mean
die
by
after
okay?
3
That it's
days.
acceptable? Because nowhere does it say
Yes,
it's
means that
acceptable.
the person is not punished.
Yeah, it also
If they
doesn't
die
say
after
that.
3 days, if they die after 3 days, the person is
Hey,
not
if you in the United
If they
States,
die within
in
3
certain
days.
in the United States, in certain states, if you drive more than 30 miles per hour over the speed limit, you have to go to court. Does that mean that if you only drive 25 miles per hour over the speed limit, like anything under 30 is okay?
What's the parallel with what I'm saying?
The point is, it could say like, oh yeah, if it's this much, then you're gonna get punished with this. However, it doesn't say that it's okay to do that in the first place. It's just giving a regulation for if it gets to a certain point.
Okay. So what you're saying right now is that if someone gets beaten, if a slave gets beaten and they die after 3 days, are you saying it's okay that the person who, in fact, what we were arguing here previously was that you were saying that God gave laws just to regulate, that as long as people are bought and transferred to their children, it's not a problem at all. That's what you were saying. That is not necessarily a problem. Am I right?
I don't think it's a problem.
That as long as people are bought and passed on to their children, it's not necessarily a problem. That's what you were saying, right?
Why would it be necessarily a problem?
So yeah, so you're saying yes, it's not necessarily a problem. So now I'm adding it onto that, the fact that they said they could be beaten as long as they don't
It
die
doesn't
after
say that.
3 days.
No, it doesn't say they can be beaten as long as it says that if they are beaten and they do not die after 3 days, they are not given the punishment, the capital punishment.
Talk slow too, bro.
I do understand, but then you do understand what it means. Imagine, I keep giving these examples and you guys keep brushing it aside.
Brother, because your examples are so horribly flawed that it's like, it doesn't even work, bro. We're trying to help you out, bro.
What you're saying that is that if the president of the United States decided today that if you beat someone and they die after 3 days, he's regulating people. Is that what you're saying?
Brother, if you unalive somebody with like premeditation, then it's going to be first degree. If you don't have the premeditation or you just like depraved heart or whatever, it's going to be second degree, right? Like, it doesn't mean that it's correct in the first place. You just have different standards for different things, bro. You're not proving anything.
Yeah. The Bible never says that, oh, it's okay to, beat them as much as you want as long as they don't die in 3 days. It says that if you beat them and they don't die in 3 days, you're not given capital punishment. If they do die within those 3 days, you are given capital punishment. The reason being is because of the fact that if they die after 3 days, then it's reasonable to assume that you weren't the cause of their death. Whereas if they died before 3 days, then it is reasonable to assume that you directly caused their death. And whoever puts another man to death shall be put to death.
And you were intending to cause their death as well. So,
and it actually does mention that if you hit your slave, you are if you cause permanent damage to your slave, you are to set them free.
So here's you guys. Like what always blows my mind is the ease with which you guys say these things.
We blowing this man's mind, bro.
If you beat someone and they die
Alright,
after,
bro, you talking way too slow. I don't got the patience no more. Alright, bro. It's about time, bro. Alright, I'll see y'all later, bro. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And I can't power the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but now forever and to age of ages. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of death. Oh my Jesus, please forgive us of our sins. Please save us from the fires of hell, and please lead all souls into heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy. All right, may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but now forever and ages of ages. Man, freak, I did not go live on shorts. I just recognized that.
Oh man,
that's tough. That's tough. I knew I did something wrong. All right, I'll see y'all later, bro.